I'm out here. Good.
What is up, guys? It's your boy Forte here. Man, it's been a crazy week. You know, the week started out as not knowing what we were going to play. Very slow news week, culminating with everybody going out and voting, and then we're still waiting to see how this vote going to turn out. So it's just been very interesting. The fact that we're going into Friday and don't know nothing yet. Well, we know a lot, but we don't have the ultimate number yet. It's pretty crazy. But I got my boy Slumbo Backslap here with me. You know, we out here. You know, shout out to Rand Dealer and Code over there on Rand's channel talking about their experiences on the Xbox. So if you catch this later on, thanks for coming through, because I expect a lot of you guys probably to come through after they're done with their stream over there. But yo, Slow-Mo, what's been going on, man? How has your week been?
It's been good. And this is episode 9 of DPS Podcast.
Is it really?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, man.
I gotta do this every single time because you don't remember which episode it is.
It's kind of a thing at this point. You know, I kind of rely on you, you know, because you are the wind beneath my wings when it comes to the show.
Oh my God. Wow. Okay, that sounds great, man.
But shout out to everybody coming through. Welcome to the 9th episode of the DPS podcast, Damage Per Second podcast, where we do more damage to each other than we do to other things in these games. Because Slow-Mo, do we really play games? Do you actually play games?
Oh yeah, I play.
How many games do you play? How many games did you play this week, Slow-Mo? How many games did you play this week?
All right, let me hold up. Let me check this. Okay, I played the Naraka Blade Point beta. I played. Let's see here. I played Rogue Company, Borderlands 2, Mass Effect 3. I played The Division 1 and 2. I played Left 4 Dead 2. I played Among Us last weekend with some friends and family, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. That's everything that I've played in the past.
Where the hell did you like just look down your Steam list at the time played list or something?
No, I'm just looking at like the installed games on my desktop, because I just like looked over the ones I actually played. I'm sorry, and I'm Persona 4 Golden. I've been playing that a lot recently too. So,
okay. Someone's out here playing games, you know. Shout out to him.
And I'm sorry, and I played Modern Warfare Remastered campaign that I got through PS Plus. I started playing that earlier today as I was testing out the new the Sony Pulse 3D headset, which I like.
Got your Pulse?
Yes, I did. I got it. Yes, I got it last night. I would have mentioned it on Brat, but I haven't like really done anything with like last night. I hadn't unboxed it or anything, so I did all that stuff this morning. I mean, like I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. Like literally no kind of setup whatsoever. I just plugged in the dongle in my PlayStation 4. It works on the PlayStation 4. Plugged in the dongle, and as soon as I turned the headset on, it immediately connected. No setup, no finagling, no needing to go into settings and then audio settings and changing to Dolby and all that other stuff you normally have to do when you sync a headset to a wireless headset to a console. No, none of that stuff was necessary. It was all set to go. And sound is pretty good. Like I started playing Modern Warfare just because I'm trying to get rid of as many games off of my PlayStation 4 that I haven't finished as possible, so that I got very few to actually put on my SATA SSD as I connect that to the PlayStation 5 when I eventually get it. Hopefully we'll like to get it next week, but hey, we'll see. But so I've just been running through games.
Okay, well, you play more games than I am, so.
Oh yeah, that's a weekly thing though. I always play more games.
Well, that's going to change in the next generation, sir.
I don't.
Right now, your boy on vacation. Anything on the Xbox.
Okay. So you're on vacation, right?
I'm on vacation from games on Xbox.
Oh,
right now.
You're on vacation from games. I was to say, because I was like, even on vacation, I still don't think you would play more games than me.
Oh, no, you probably still play more games. See, this is the slander I be talking about. See, I wasn't even gonna go there.
I'm not
I understand.
I'm just saying a fact. I'm not slandering you. It's just a fact of life. You know, the sun rises, the sun sets. I play more games than you. It's just it is what it is. And there's nothing. It's not like shade or anything. You don't have to play a ton of games. Like, and I know there'd be like some people who like get together and they'll be like, "Oh, how many games did you play? How many games? Y'all play more games than all you guys." I mean, it's not. It's all about preference because some people may like to just play a few games, and there's nothing wrong with that. And there's no reason to like. That's why like when people want to say they want to see like your achievement score, your trophy score, it's like, if you only play a certain number of games, but you play those games every single day for hours upon hours, you're not going to have like the highest scores out there. But that doesn't make you any less of a gamer than anyone else. It's just not. It's just, you know, fanboy foolishness that gets that kind of stuff started. But
yeah, I got you. I know. Well, let's acknowledge some of the people up in the chat. We got Hustle and Motivate up in here, man. Shout out to you, brother.
What's up, Hustle?
Always love the support that you bring to the shows that you are on, plus to us in general. We got Bounty Boom second. I think Bounty Boom might have been no Hustle's here first. So Bounty Boom showed up. Shout out to you. We got Damien. What's up, bro? We got Neil. What's going on, Neil? We got Dark. How you pronounce his name? Slow-mo? Is it Dark Sasaya or Saya or Shashaya? Dark.
I think it's Dark Saya.
Okay,
I don't know. He please tell us how to pronounce it.
Please.
He's here every week. We acknowledge and love the fact that he shows up and supports every week.
And I don't want to butcher the second half of your name.
Yeah, I want to make sure I say your name right.
Right. I do not want to butcher the second part, but shout out to you. We got Replicant here, man. Shout out to Replicant. You know, he's like on the other side of the world, so he'll be gone by 10 o'clock. But we always appreciate him when he comes through. So
wait. Okay, Lethal Terminus and Damien. Let me just say something real quick. Bugsnax live stream when? Yes, Slow-mo guy played Bugsnax. What did we already say? When I hit 1,000 subs on YouTube, I will live stream Bugsnax. Until then, I'm at 704 the last time I looked. Until then, there is no live stream of Bugsnax. There is no live stream of my misery. Okay, so until then, and shout out to Enrique with the $2 super chat. Woo! Slow-mo time for Bugsnax. Woo! Not really. So we're gonna y'all need to, until I get 296 more subs. There is no Bugsnax. There is no eating of strawberries in your hands turning into berry juices and berries or something or whatever it is. I don't know. All I know is I am not playing that game until I feel like it is worth my while. And worth my while is 1K sub. So y'all know what to do.
1K sub, then right around the corner for 2K subs, so we can get this platinum trophy. Let's go.
That's not happening.
Look, man, you taught it. So what you're saying is, if people support you enough to get you 2K subs, you won't give them the opportunity to see you get a platinum.
Let's do this. Okay. This is what we do. 2K subs. It
can't be no buy, man.
No, it has to be. It
took me almost 2 years to get the 2K subs, bro.
Well, it's going to take me. I started my channel in July of 2019. So, if I get 2K subs before July of 2021. Yeah, I will platinum Bugsnax.
No, 2K subs by the end of 2021.
No.
By the end
July.
By the end of 2021.
Look, I'm not agreeing to by the end. So
why
July?
You ain't even listen, bro. You ain't even at 1,000 yet. So you got to give some type of. If you were at 1,000 already, I'll be like, okay, that's a good deal. Right. We can get them there. you know, what's that, like 8 months away? We can get you there in 8 months, 9 months.
First off, my content is amazing, and people should sub to me for my content that I
Yeah, they
do outside
should.
of Bugsnax. It is to their own detriment that they don't.
Oh,
but that
God.
said, if you want me to platinum Bugsnax, like play it, like I don't even know what the trophy, like the list of trophies is for. But matter of fact, it's probably not even available now. I don't know when they release information like that. Let me see. Let me try to look it up with it. I'm telling you right now, if it's some nonsense like you gotta eat 5 million strawberries and then like and no, I'm not going to do it. I don't care what you guys say. This is
not that bad,
man. No, they don't have the
it.
trophies listed yet. So
man, yeah, I don't know why you so afraid of just I mean, dude, we telling you dude, that's like you're getting the support of the community on top of the fact that you're giving them something in return, and all we asking for is a platinum trophy.
Look, bro, look.
We ain't even asking you to buy the. You don't even got to buy the game. We're giving it to you for free.
This is like telling you, we'll get you to 3K subs if you stream yourself playing the Division 2 for like 12 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Like you not doing that. So why you don't want to do that? You know, it's ridiculous, and
yeah,
that's essentially
this game look like it's right up your alley, man. We got sausage. We got sandwiches.
Offended. I am offended that you said that.
Look at this.
I'm looking at
water.
that.
Look, it's a watermelon with look like a spider. Like, dog, this is. Look at the way they walk.
You don't even sound like you're even trying to be convincing.
Listen, he ate that sandwich. And
it just disappeared. It literally just disappeared and didn't even go in his mouth. That's how low budget this game is.
Look at that. Look at that Elvis Presley look he got on his head.
My eyes are bleeding right now.
Oh man, see you need to man, come on. Sony know what they doing, man. It's gonna be the next best game on the internet.
I must have shout out to some people in the chat. Neil S, what's going on? Grounded Gamer, Jay Fonzarelli, what's up, man?
Jay Fonz.
Fonz, you see this nonsense they trying to get me to do, man? Look at this game. Like, what was that just tackled the screen? You can't even tell.
Don't be like this, man. Look, Slomo's got 825,000.
The game did so bad with pre-orders that they were just like, yo, just throw it in as a console exclusive with the game because nobody is going to buy this game. We need to just add this into. Hey, look, it's there. Please play the game.
Hey, man, they got 31 minutes. Look, they start on a ship, Sea of Thieves style. That ship don't look as good as the Sea of Thieves ship.
Yeah, that looked like somebody did Sea of Thieves
look,
and Dreams.
No, they literally just
Sea of Thieves and Dreams. Are you sure this isn't Sea of Thieves and Dreams? Because that looks like.
Look at that! Come on, man. I think you would love this game. Look, rain on the screen. This looks awesome.
Somebody built this. No, what? I'm sorry. Let's get into the topics. This has gone way out of bounds. First topic is wait, go ahead. No, matter of fact, you didn't. I told you what I played this week. You didn't talk about what you played this week.
Oh yeah, I did play. Like, as much as I'm on a vacation, I did play some stuff this week. I'm just on a vacation from Xbox because I just refuse to play anything on current gen platforms like Xbox or PlayStation at 30 frames per second again. Not doing it, but I did play a heck of a lot of Hyrule Warriors Calamity Age on Switch because the demo came out.
Oh, okay.
And bro, listen, Zelda's my favorite franchise on Nintendo, so it's a reason that I was able to just jump in and play that game as much as I did.
That's the game that's very similar to like Dynasty Warriors. Like I used to love Dynasty Warriors back in the day. You were it was janky as all get out, but like I mean, just like you like taking on like literally 100 other soldiers whose AI was like, you know, literally like 5 IQ, and they just they just stood there as you just, you know, just basically swung a staff around and killed them all literally with one hit. It was I mean, it's a very like power driven like kind of game where you just feel like you're super powerful, you know. One of those things. So like, is Hyrule Warriors like that in the sense where like Link is just going around slaughtering the enemies left and right, or is it a little bit tamer?
No, dude, it's that, but it's
really?
It's literally that, but it's they incorporate the story of Zelda so well in these games. Like, I think the first one was like a really good test bed for them because I think the first one was more Dynasty Warriors than anything. Just playing the demo of Calamity Age it's like literally the best version of a Dynasty Warriors game you will ever play because it actually has a story that makes sense because they're kind of putting it in line with the whole Breath of the Wild theme and stuff, and it just feels good. Like the combo system, the character customizations, the world, the overworld, dude. The game just it works, and it works very well.
How does it run? Is it like a consistent frame rate? What's it running like? 30,
I didn't notice
60?
any. I think that's the thing about that game. I think it only runs at 30 frames per second. But the thing about this is the thing I always tell people: 30 frames per second without any frame drops or any noticeable hitches is very good. As long as the experience is the same from beginning to end and you don't feel the difference in the frame rates going up and down, it's very manageable because that's how the original Halos were. You know, Halo 1, 2, 3, they were all 30 frames per second, and you didn't mind it because it was a consistent frame rate throughout the game. So you didn't feel the jittery and the judderiness in the game, and you didn't see the screen tearing and stuff like that. And then I think on top of that, with it being on a Switch, a lot at this point, people kind of understand what they're getting when it comes to the Switch. You're really trading the performance of the games that you have for the portability of the system. So it still is like a disbelief when you're walking around with a Switch in handheld mode and you're looking at these games and you're like, dude, I'm actually playing these type of games on the go. I'm playing a console quality game on the go.
But so by the way, did you play it docked or
I played
handheld?
both. I played both.
Okay, so how did it perform in handheld and docked?
See, I always see, for me, I think the game performs about the same. The quality, the actual visual quality looks better in handheld mode just because you're not trying to blow up to, I don't even know if it's at 1080p. I think it's only like, it might be 720p upscaled to 1080p when you go to a TV. So it looks blurry as hell in certain instances, but the color still pops. Like, it has really, really good color accuracy when it comes to playing the game. But I just think that's why I barely hook my Switch up to my TV, because it's like, until this rumored Switch Pro that they've been talking about for 2 years, if this thing actually comes out, I'll never play Switch on TV, because at that point it's like, yeah, I want to have just the experience of playing handheld, but if I'm going to play on a 55-inch plus TV, I don't want this shit to be looking blurry.
Right.
I can't. That's something I'm not willing to trade. I'm not willing to trade blurry visions over just being able to have that same experience and walk around my house and sit at the table and eat my Fruit Loops if I want to while I'm doing it. So that's what I think the biggest difference is. But it's a free demo. So if you have a Switch, if you're just looking for something to play while you're waiting for these brand new systems to come out. I know a lot of people, shout out to you guys, responded to my tweet earlier today, you know, who's already took advantage of trading their old systems in. And it seems like a lot of people. So y'all bored as hell right now. Y'all ain't got no consoles to play on. Y'all done already mortgaged this stuff to the next generation. So I'm not mad at you. But if you got a Switch, download that game, man. You might be surprised at what you got. So that's mostly what I've been playing. You know, of course, I still dabble back and forth at Destiny because the new season starts next week. So I'm doing a little bit of cleanup. I made a video, my first Destiny video in probably 2 years on my channel, which actually did pretty well. So shout out to everybody that watched that. And I got another one coming out later this week. I'm making a continuous effort to diversify the content. You know, I think once these new systems come out, a lot of the conversation is going to pivot back from just hardware and, you know, and all this other crazy stuff to just playing games. And that's what I want to get to. I want to get to the point where we're talking about the games we're playing other than the stuff that these games are, you know, being played on. And that's what I'm looking forward to the most. But no, outside of that, man, it's just been, you know, work as usual and fiending over what the hell's going to happen with this freaking election that's going to take 6 more years to finish.
Shout out to Rand Al Thor in the chat with all the shade for Mr. Gaming Forte. First thing he said was, you know, I joined Forte's party the other day and he just never said anything. How rude.
Whoa. What day was this? What day was this?
No, you see, Rand, I'm telling you, he was asleep. You joined it. He was knocked out. I'm pretty sure he muted his mic so you couldn't hear the snoring. And then, but then you said, you know, like he was playing Destiny, so he was probably just in the zone and didn't even notice that you were there because you know that's how crack works, you know.
Oh man, I missed the opportunity to rap with the God himself, man. Shout out to Randall Thor. Great video earlier today too, brother. I really appreciate the candor and the honesty that, you know, I knew he was going to do that, you know, when he didn't even have to put my honest review. When I saw that, I was like, God damn it, Rand. You ain't have to put, people know you're going to be honest at this point. But then again, there's probably a lot of people out there that are just mad that you actually got a system and they didn't. So, you know, whatever. But no,
that's
man.
True.
I think, but yeah, man, I truly appreciated your honesty in your review, and shout out to you guys for the live stream. You know, most people, I didn't expect you guys to do a 2-hour live stream talking about your experiences with the system this early. So that was very, very refreshing for me, and it's got me a little bit more hyped there for what's coming up in the next week. So, but
hey, but that's an awesome segue there. Let's talk about, you know, Xbox Series X and PlayStation 5 and like what excites you more out of both platforms. So since we already kind of talked about, you know, Rand Al Thor had an early copy of the system. I don't know if it was the final product or
copy of the system, sir.
Well, you know, the unit, a unit, not a copy. It's like a.
I was like, what?
It's a 3D. It's a 3D printing.
Can you copy that for me, sir?
It's a 3D printing of the Xbox. No. He had a early. I don't know if it's a preview version or it's the final product. It's the final. Okay, cool. Final retail version.
Did you even watch this video?
Yes, I did watch the video.
Oh,
can you stop interrupting me so I can get back to what we're talking about? Thank you. So yes, Xbox Series X or PlayStation 5, what excites you more? And I can start first. I'm not getting Xbox Series X, so nothing really. But the PlayStation 5, I think what excites me more so far from what I'm seeing is probably I mean, not really necessarily too many of the games because there's really only one true exclusive for the PlayStation 5, and I don't care about Demon's Souls, so it's not for me. But I think the DualSense and the fact that I'm a little interested in how many more games are kind of trying to implement some of the features with the haptic feedback and stuff like that with the actual DualSense controller. I want to see how it feels and how it plays with the remastered version of Spider-Man 2018 as well as Spider-Man Miles Morales, because those that's like definitely the game I'm going to play as soon as I get it. So yeah, that's it for me. What about you, man?
Yeah. Well, first of all, let me answer. I see Neil in the chat. He asked, "Are they sending out systems early due to lockdowns?" And that's what I heard over in like in different areas like Europe and Germany, because they're in full blown lockdown right now. And it just seems like, I mean, who really knows? But it is being rumored that systems are being sent there a little bit earlier for those people, so they can still have a chance to, I guess, either pick up or just play their systems, because retail's about to shut down in a lot of places. I'm actually kind of afraid what might happen here over the next couple of weeks, because Michigan literally hit its all-time high in cases yesterday, which was close to 4,000. And the highest that we had up until that point before then was 2,200 back in March.
Mm-hmm.
So the fact that has doubled, and supposedly it's been like 8 months or 6 months since that's happened. So it's just all going bad right now. So a lot of people are really, really worried about, getting their systems on time. But you never know, man. Just keep your head up, and it might, everything's going to be all right. I do believe. But when it comes to, you want to say something?
No, I was just going to say some of us are also still looking for.
I tried.
The security unit, and
I tried my best to
do that.
I tried my best to get some of these people out here that's got 5 and 6 systems on pre-order, and they rather sell them to people than give them to the people in the community that's their friends, and give them not charge them an upsell for it. But I guess you can't make everybody do what they supposed to do.
Yeah, just you. People are free to do with
whatever they want to do with the money that they spend.
Exactly. But just don't be surprised when people look at you different when you do.
I'm going to be looking at some people sideways, bro.
Yeah.
Because let's be for real. And I told this story. I told this story when pre-orders went live for the Xbox. I did not pre-order my Xbox on day one because I had over 90 people standing outside my store. And even knowing I had the right as an associate to pre-order that system before the store opened because I worked there, I just took it upon myself to say, none of us can pre-order this system because we ain't got enough of them. And there's going to be an opportunity for us to get them later because we know when they come in, and that's going to be it. Needless to say, Xbox never opened up another set of pre-orders, so that kind of bit us in the ass. But we ended up getting extra allocation on the day that they come out anyway, so we're going to be taken care of. But the fact that I was willing to give up a system on day one to make my customers happy should let you know that, gaming is. I'm selfish as a gamer, but I also have a conscience. I'm not saying people need to go out of their way and do things for other people, but just be aware that you might get looked at funny when you got so-called friends that are looking for these brand new systems, and y'all out there selling them for $300 to $400 more than price of admission.
Yeah,
or if you're going to do that, just don't announce it. I'll say that. That's probably what you shouldn't do. Don't go on Twitter and announce that you got a system. Shout out to Cal. Shout out to Cal for saying that. He said, I got, who want to buy a system? Upcharge. Don't do that. But when it comes to me, honestly, you probably would think I would say Destiny, but Destiny's in the bushes because their DLC or their update or upgrade, I should say, doesn't come to December 8th. But listening to a lot of other people's thoughts on the different games that they've been playing, like Gears and Rand actually got me really excited to play Quantum Break again, because I thought Quantum Break was one of those gems that was pretty amazing, but just ran horribly on the Xbox One. That's on the Xbox One X. I played it on there. I made it through it. It was an enjoyable experience because I actually liked the story. But man, the frame rate would chug, and it would like freeze, and I had a couple of crashes in the game. But hearing him talk about his experience playing that game on the new system, I'm more excited to play stuff that I missed out on because of Destiny than anything. A lot of people are up here saying, I'm not buying a system to play older games. Well, yeah, that's for you. Because for me, I never played those games. I have pretty much every last one of those games on my external hard drive right now.
Yeah, but then still, let's look at the other side of it. Why have you never played those games? Because
Destiny was because
you really weren't all that interested in those games.
No. Listen. When I'm trying to tell you, bro, Destiny. This is the type of gamer I am. When I get locked into a certain game that I like, and because I don't like, it's not too many games that I adore to the point where I love games like Destiny. Like, there's only been 3 or 4 of them. Warframe was one of those games for a while. Then it was Diablo 3. Dude, I played 4,000 hours of Diablo 3. Like I played every season they did all the way up to season 15 before I like said I can't play this game no more. You know, that's like 4 years worth of Diablo. It's different games. I mean, even World of Warcraft, I did that. I mean, and I was paying monthly for that. So it's like over the course of generation, you know, Destiny kind of just, you know, got its hooks in me, and I've never been able to walk away from it, and I probably won't because I enjoyed the gameplay that much. But
okay,
but I made a promise to you. But I made a promise. But
you didn't play Quantum Break.
Yes, I did. I beat it day one. I beat it.
Okay, wait. But you were talking like you said older games that you didn't play.
No, but I want to go back and play it. Like I want to go back and play that game again.
You want to play it again? Oh, you want to go through it? Like, look, for single player games, I'm gonna go back and play it again. I don't usually go back. Well, it depends on how much you like the game. If you really, really love the game and enjoyed it, then yeah, I can see go through it again. But if you don't really like if you just somewhat, this game was okay. I'm cool with it. You uninstall and you never play it again. So Quantum Break was really that kind of game for you?
Yeah, I really truly enjoyed that game. Quantum Break was really, it was different because it was one of the true graphical looking games that Xbox actually had, where it actually wasn't grounded in reality, of course, but I like that third person action adventure type game, like how it's probably the closest they had to like Uncharted or something when it comes to the gameplay, but it's with guns and stuff, which is pretty cool. You got to think games like Wet. That was, I don't know if you remember on PS3.
Wait a minute, did you say the closest to Uncharted, but with guns?
No,
Uncharted has guns. What?
Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah,
what are you talking about? You
right.
mean Uncharted? It's
you're
like
right.
Uncharted with powers.
With powers, yeah, with powers. Yeah, you're right. But but you gotta think games like Wet on PS3. I played that game so freaking much on PS3. Like I beat that game probably like 6 times. Think of Wanted based on the movie. I beat that game on Xbox and PlayStation 3, Xbox 360 and PlayStation 3 because I enjoyed those third person type of games and stuff like that. But I'm just looking forward to playing that again. I do want to go through God of War when the new PS5 comes out. I don't think they said anything about enhancements. I just know that it runs at an unlocked frame rate, so you're going to get better performance and better stability.
Right.
So that's one thing I'm really truly looking forward to. I already beat the game, but I think I'm going to go back and just finish and get the platinum on the PS5. That's pretty much what
you'll fight all those Valkyries and all
I already got 3 of the Valkyries. I just need to finish the rest.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Those Valkyries, that's the game right there, bro.
Yeah.
People don't realize it. That's the game.
I'm definitely going to play Days Gone on PlayStation 5 because I never played it on PlayStation 4, and I initially didn't get it because I really wasn't all that interested in the game. I only bought it because it was on sale like earlier this year for like $20, $25, and maybe like $30. I can't remember what it was, but it was on sale. I also still didn't play it when I bought it because people were saying that the performance still wasn't great, especially when a lot of the freakers, zombies, whatever you want to call them, are on the screen. So I said, you know what? I'll just wait until the PlayStation 5 comes out. That Zen 2 CPU is going to be able to handle all of that on screen a whole lot better than these trash Jaguar Core CPUs that are in the current gen consoles would. So I'm going to play Days Gone. And I'm gonna go through. I want to play through Spider-Man again with new face Peter Parker.
You want to go with younger Parker?
Yeah, look, I do this often when there's a sequel, or not really a sequel because Miles Morales isn't a sequel, but when there's like a continuation of a story in a game, I always go back to, and I do this with movies too. Like if a sequel comes out, I watch the previous movie before watching the sequel. I do the same thing with games. I play through the previous game and then play the new game just so that like everything's fresh in my mind and that I'm not looking at like characters that I forgot and like, wait a minute, who's that again? Like all that stuff is just fresh for me. So I'm definitely going to play through Spider-Man again and then play Miles Morales. So I'm not too concerned with playing Miles Morales immediately as soon as I get the PS5. Although it probably will be the very next new game that I play on it.
Right.
Yeah.
So I mean, let's be honest. We're excited for next gen. We need to get you a PS5 because I know that's what you truly want. So anybody in the chat, if you guys see any type of posting, any PS5s pop up in the wild online at a store, make sure you DM my boy Slow-Mo Backslash. Also DM Ash and Luca too, because I can only do as much as I can do on my end to try to get one, but it looks like at retail these things, they're going to be pretty much non-existent, because who was it, Slow-Mo? I think was it the media marketing manager came out and said that they are basically don't camp out. There will be none day one. Right,
pretty much, yeah. And although it seems like Target is going to have some units, and they and Walmart has said that they even posted the times in which they will be available, and they're going to stagger the supply that they have. I think Best Buy probably did it the best with the 3070 GPU, the RTX 3070 NVIDIA GPU that came out. They made it so it was, so they staggered like they only released certain amount of stock every 5 minutes. And so when that kind of got the bots out of the way, it kind of disrupted whatever scripts that people were deploying to buy up all the supply and then immediately run to eBay like a douchebag and try to sell it for double or triple the price. That staggering allowed people to be able to get the 3070. I almost secured one for a friend of mine who was looking. And then he, at the last second, he told me, "Don't worry about it. I'm just going to stick with what I got for now." But I had it, the EVGA version of it, in the cart with Best Buy ready to go. So I think Best Buy did the best implementation of dealing with the scalpers. I see Target and Walmart are trying their various methods to get it done. I think they posted schedules. Well, at least Walmart did, on when their supply will be available for PlayStation 5. It's like noon, 3 p.m. and I think 6 p.m. is when they'll be available. And I thought I heard 11 a.m. for Target, but they may be also implementing what Best Buy did to just kind of make sure that all supply isn't immediately scooped up a millisecond after going live, and no one can access the online server, because it's complete garbage. And the people who actually want to get these systems to enjoy next generation hardware and enjoy the games that they want to play with the best performance and fidelity you're going to get on a console, they're not able to get those things because people want to be jerks about it. So this is hopefully I think someone in chat also said that they think Costco might have some too. So
Costco is always like that dark horse because you got to have a membership to get there, to shop it there,
which kind of limits the number of people who
exactly.
I'm glad
I know a lot of people
membership.
I know a lot of people that ended up buying Costco memberships because they had them pre-ordered. I know one of my friends, we told him, it's like, yo, Costco got them. So he walked in Costco and they had pre-order still. And the lady was like, "Oh, where's your Costco card?" He's like, "I don't have one." He said, "What's that?" He's like, "Oh, you need that to shop here." He's like, "Huh?" I was like, "What? You've never been to Costco's before?" So he had to pay. So basically his PlayStation pre-order cost him $59.99.
Yeah, because he had to get that membership. Yep. Hey, look, and Costco's not a bad spot. I mean,
no, dude, I buy
in bulk and get everything you need. My wife goes to Costco once a week, so it's worth the membership's worth it, and you get the PlayStation 5 or a next gen console or whatever you're looking for. So
next thing you know, your grocery bill's $300 every 2 weeks because you in Costco.
Facts.
That's how it be.
That is big facts.
Yeah. So Slow-Mo, let's get into some of this other stuff. You sent me an article earlier. You're very, very high on this game, Outriders. They just put out a new trailer talking about the basically they consider, I guess they're calling it the end game of the game, where it's expeditions where everything opens up once you beat basically you beat the main parts of the game. So why don't you go ahead and share people on the excitement that you saw when you experienced this trailer that they put out?
Yeah, so look, Outriders has been a game that I've kind of had like on my radar for a while, and I like looter shooters. So for me, it's like, I'm definitely going to look out for any looter shooters that are coming out, see if it's something I want to get into or not. This one seemed, I think I can see the remnants of it. It's made by People Can Fly, so they did Gears of War Judgment, so I can see kind of the remnants of like in some of the movements of the characters, and at times where I see a character go into cover, like a little bit of Gears there, but it's really the abilities and the different kinds of characters and how you can build them out that really caught my eye. And so what I like to see here is that they do have a plan for post-launch, because as we always know with looter shooters, the biggest issue with looter shooters isn't the campaign, it's not the gear, it's not any of that stuff initially. The big issue is post-launch. Post-launch is the problem, because after you're done with the campaign, what's there left to do? And usually a good majority of the looter shooters don't have a very strong post-launch content right out the gate. And so the fact that they already got kind of some things planned out, I think I'm gonna try to see if I share my screen real quick. Whoops, wait a minute, that's the wrong one. Let me try to share it real quick so people can see what they got in store. I think the game looks cool, and I'm actually way more interested in this game than, say, Godfall, even though I'm probably going to get Godfall anyway, but I don't really care for like, it just seems weird to me. I don't know if that's just I got it. I got it. There we go. Cool. It just seems like, I don't know, man. Like, is it just me? Is Godfall seem like it's going to be the kind of game that's just going to be here and gone really, really quickly? What do you think?
I mean, if you heard because Cognito was on. Shout out to Cognito. He was on Brap with us yesterday, and I told you the one game I was looking forward to on PlayStation 5 was playing Godfall. It's not that I don't think Spider-Man's a good game. I mean, I'm gonna play Spider-Man, but it's like I didn't even play Marvel Spider-Man, so it's like it's not like high on my list. And I've never really been into the whole Soulsborne atmosphere. So even though that's a game it's gonna be the game that's gonna really get me into play. My heart is always going to be in the looter shooter grind, or in this game's instance, the slasher grind. So I'm definitely going to try that day one, but I have no hope for that game having anything post launch. I mean, because I can't, it's sad to say, but I have to take all of these games that come out like that. Even Destiny. I mean, Destiny is not immune to this. You got to take all of these developers when they come to these looter shooters and these looter grind games as like, what are you going to give me 3 to 4 months from now? That was the whole thing I said with Avengers. I was like, yeah, Avengers is cool. People are going to be excited to play it day one because it's Marvel, but what's going to have people come back? And look at the player base now. Like, the game hasn't even been out 2 months, and I don't hear anybody talking about that game.
Yeah, and see, that's what it really comes down to. It's impossible, and like you said, Destiny has this issue too. All of the looter shooters have this issue where there comes a lull in content. But the thing is that when that lull happens, what you have to do, what the developers have to do, is they have to make content that is, one, repetitive, true, but still, regardless of it being repetitive, it has a fun factor that the gamer playing it doesn't really care that it's the same content over and over again. They love that gameplay loop.
Yeah, the one thing
loop really resonates with them. The problem with Avengers is that playing the game just wasn't as fun after hitting max power level. It's just not as fun anymore. wow, that gun is disgusting.
Yeah, it did.
Like,
I just look at that. I was like, what is that? It's breathing. It was breathing.
But yeah, I mean, just like and something I noticed with People Can Fly is they kind of like came out and said like, don't expect like ongoing live services. Like we're going to have post-launch content, but we're not going to be like hitting you with dailies, weeklies, consistent like online live services kind of stuff going on. And although that's a bit disappointing, I appreciate their honesty and being candid with that ahead of time, because it's setting expectations. It's letting people know, hey, look, this is what we're going to have. And if you aren't down for that, then hey, so be it. Like, don't get the game, like it is what it is. So it's setting expectations so that people know what to expect with the game. And I think when it comes to the looter shooter genre is you got to have a gameplay loop that is so fun that you forget that, you know what? Yeah, I am playing the same content over and over and over again, but it's so fun. It doesn't matter to me. I remember playing Destiny 1 and when I played Destiny 1, I did some Crucible. I mean, I did a good number of Crucible.
You actually played Destiny at one point?
Stop it. I got a ridiculous amount of hours in Destiny 1. But
D2 didn't do it for you though, huh?
No, D2 did not. But
even though D2 is a better game.
I think some people would disagree with that in some ways.
No. D1 had better overall weapons and stuff, but D2 is a better game.
This is not going to be a side note.
I
don't care about which one is better. The only
thing D1 got better.
Why are you still talking about this? Like, you're creating an argument that I don't care about. Okay, so like, just don't care. I did do, when I played D1, I would just do strikes over and over and over and over again.
Luke is right about that. I will give her that. D2 wasn't. D1 was D2 is a better. It's not as good as D1 at launch. Absolutely.
Yeah. I just did strikes. I would do a ton of strikes, and it's just like that gameplay loop would it would be hours and hours of me just doing that. And so like that's what the developers want out of their game. They want people to just play the content that's there and continue to keep doing it in a consistent loop. And of course, there's a little carrot on the stick. There is that the loot grind and getting your light level up in Destiny, or your gear score level in Division, or wherever other game, your power level in Marvel Avengers, getting that grind, that loot, and then getting a particular build that really works for you. That stuff is, of course, like indicative of all looter shooters, but that making sure it's fun to do that is the true key. Because when it's not fun to do that, people check out, and it becomes a job and a chore to get the loot that you're looking for, the perfect build, instead of, hey, I'm having fun. And then there's also the side goal. So that's something that I want to kind of see with Outriders. Everyone all the characters seem to look really different. The builds are pretty awesome. What I like about this, and as you can tell, looking at the guns here, the guns look extremely unique, unlike Anthem, where all the guns look exactly the same.
Even the rarity, they look the same.
Yeah, even the legendary gun look just like a green gun. I'm like,
let's be for real. These guns, this looks really good. I think for me, I'm more interested in what this game is doing because of, like you said, the roadmap. It seems like they have a roadmap in place. If you are a fan of just these type of games in general, that's the number one thing you want to see. I think the reason Destiny gets such a pass on the things they do is because Bungie makes the game, and people just believe in Bungie. And Bungie has a proven track record just to give you gameplay that is second to none when it comes to the type of games that they make. So other developers have to find a way to. Other developers, they can't match that. But they need to do something different to make people want to be interested in their game. And having something like a roadmap out there that shows what you're doing in your game.
Hey, real quick, check this part here. See what he's doing when he's crafting his gun. He's improving. Yeah. The attributes and modding the weapon. Like, see, this is the kind of stuff that really I really enjoy just getting deep into this.
Is this giving you your Division feels because you can go to the bench and upgrade your weapons?
Well, yeah, absolutely. That was the best part of Division.
It was the best part of Division.
Was doing stuff like that. So that fact that they're taking key elements of good things from other games that are in the same genre and adding them in their own way to their own game is really good. Now, all this stuff is great and all. Like the game looks good. But what it all comes down to. Say what?
I was just making fun. It looked like he was standing in a Warlock's healing rift in that screenshot.
What it really just comes down to is making sure that the gameplay is fun. And so like everything when I first saw Outriders, I was like, man, hard pass.
Look
and
at
then the next
tree.
Yo.
Look at that skill tree. That's a skill tree. That's a skill tree.
When I saw this, I was like, yo, they talking my language now. That's the kind of stuff I'd be like, man, the amount of different builds I can play around with. Man, that skill tree is a skill tree like that, like everyone's build is going to be different. Everyone's going to have a different like play style, regardless of the kind of character. Like that's amazing. I love that.
Yeah. Well, shout out to East Texas Alice with the $3 super sticker. Truly appreciate you, bro. Thank you for
What's up, Alex?
Yeah, he said hi to you earlier. He's one of the. He's from your channel. He's probably been from my channel too.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you, man. Thank you for Thank you for subscribing to that man's channel so we can get him closer to 1,000 subs so we can get Bugsnax in here. Do you promote that on your channel, Slow-Mo?
Promote what?
Bugsnax.
No, I mean, why would I promote that?
You should. You know what? Maybe you would get to 1,000 faster if in your videos you say, "Hey, shout out to you guys that are supporting the channel." But if you want to see me play,
that's
Bugsnax,
a negative. Let's move on. Let's move on.
Okay.
One thing. How big is People Can Fly? This game
I don't know. How big were they when they made Bulletstorm at that time?
No, I think they gotta be a bigger studio now.
They're definitely a bit. That game's like 10 years old at this point.
Yeah, I'm surprised this is being published by Square, but
Taz says, "Why are we at 720p?" Ooh, he talked about this. He talked about this gameplay, bro. He said this don't look. He letting you know that
it's the stream. It's the stream.
No,
it's not the game natively. I mean, like, yeah. Look, it's a stream,
I need.
You can't really judge how the game is going to look at launch based off of upload from YouTube.
Yeah,
Neil, to YouTube.
I think we all need to check out Godfall.
What's up, Eric? What's going on, man?
What's up, EJ? Neil was talking about Godfall's in-game sound. Their in-game sound is pretty dope from what they showed today. See, I haven't checked out the stream for what they showed today, and if they do even half of what they need to do to get people interested in what that game has to offer, because let's be for real, the gameplay looked like it can get boring as hell very, very fast, because that's the one thing about a melee structured game. It's like you can only hit the trigger button so many times to get so many combos, where with guns you have different rules of engagement, different type of archetypes that you can use, and we're not saying that you can't do that with like an axe and a sword and a heavy grade sword and all that other crazy stuff. It seems like it's more dynamic when you have like weaponry that can be used from like a distance and stuff like that. That's why you see games like Darksiders and stuff. They're highly melee combat, but you break up the monotony by having weapons that are ranged like guns and stuff. And that's what makes those games play so much better.
I would, if this game was coming out at the same time as Godfall, I would ask, which game do you think would outlast each other between this and Godfall? But considering how I think this game's coming out early next year, I believe.
I think this game might outlast Godfall just for the fact, first of all, it's a multi-plat. Second, I mean, it's a game that's going to be on multiple platforms.
Well, so is Godfall. Well, Godfall's on PC.
It's on PC
as well as PlayStation 5, and it's a timed exclusive for PlayStation, so it's going to be on Xbox eventually.
Right. Well, that's true, but how long is is the time exclusive for Xbox?
We don't know. I think it's probably a year.
A year, and by the time that happens, this
I
game
think it's dead. This game, Godfall, is going to be dead before.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
I mean, maybe it might get a little bit of resurgence from the Xbox community who didn't get a chance to, like Xbox only gamers who didn't get a chance to play it. But I mean, I really kind of feel like by February, where Outriders is supposed to come out, people are already going to be well past Godfall the same way that they're already done with Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah,
and Avengers have been out for what, 2 months?
Yeah, and it feels like it's been out for 10 years because I haven't heard nobody talk about it. Since it's been out. Shout out to East Texas Alex again with a $2 super chat. Thank you, brother. I think this game will be better with 4 players. And look, man, I ain't gonna disagree with you because I feel like the reason I think next gen is gonna be all about playing with your friends more than anything. You know, we're going to get better games. I mean, we definitely know that's going to happen on the PlayStation side. It is
only 3 players, but look, I mean, like 3-player co-op can work. Definitely, 3-player co-op. Yes, it would be better if it's 4 players. Usually, I always kind of found
that's the sweet spot. I feel.
Better. Yeah, but 3 is doable if the gameplay is really good. You can
3
you can
makes
roll
it more
3.
intimate. I will say it's like you have to literally synergize really well in 3-player combat and scenarios and stuff like that.
Shout out to Taz and Chase's exclusive ends May 21st for Godfall. Okay, so it's like a 6-month kind of deal.
It's a 6-month exclusive. Okay, so that
all
means
right.
It might not be dead by the time it comes to Xbox.
Yeah, but I think as far as player base goes, it's still going to be dead. I think it's going to be dead before Outriders comes out. So
Jesus.
I mean, I'm gonna get the game,
but it's nothing else to play though. Slow mo. It's not like we got a bunch of games coming out before then.
That doesn't mean just because there's nothing a lot to play doesn't mean that people are gonna play something. That's
true. That's true. People stop playing Knack within the first 3 weeks it came out.
Hey, look, man, I feel like people would play this game and then they'll get bored and go play something on their backlog instead of continuing to play it. Instead of continuing to keep playing something that they don't really seem to have fun with anymore. You know, so but I mean, look, like I said, I'm gonna give Godfall a shot, and we'll see what happens with it. But
all right, well, we killed that one. So let's move on to this next topic. It kind of ties in with we were talking about with next gen games and stuff. A lot of people out here talking about these file sizes of these games, and you know the fact that a lot of people got to either pay out of the.
Before we do that, can I acknowledge something real quick? Road Company.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about Road Company first, because before I put you to sleep with this.
Put me to sleep. What are you talking
because
about?
Because shout out to you for doing a stream.
About?
You did 2 streams in one day. Oh, first of all, shout out to Kid Smooth with the $5 super chat, showing my support, brother. Truly appreciate you, man. Great show yesterday too on playing an Xbox, very enjoyable. You always put on a good show. Can't wait to see you unbox your system next week. You better do what's the over and under on what you think Smooth's going to do? What do you think Smooth's going to do when he opens up his system on day one? What do you think? What is the crazy meme going to be on the internet for a whole week from Smooth?
I have no idea. He might eat his mouse again, like not his mouse, his mouse pad, like he did with the chip challenge. I don't know, man. Shout out to him. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be.
I can't wait I think he's the first person I'm looking forward to getting his system day one to see what he's gonna say and what crazy stuff's gonna come out of his mouth on that day, because he's the most entertaining person in the Xbox side of the community. So thanks again for the support, brother. Always really truly appreciate it. But Slomo, I cut you off, brother. Go ahead and finish what you're saying.
About Road Company. Yeah. Well, first of all, you said you was gonna put me to sleep. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because you did a show on Boom's channel today, and that's 2 podcasts in one day. I just wanted to make sure you had enough energy to finish it through your own show today.
Look, I wouldn't have done the show earlier if I didn't think I was going to have
I don't
enough
know,
energy
man.
for
You
both.
catch
So
that
and you see, I know I'm not the one falling asleep on Xbox Live party chats and missing Mr. Randolph Thor coming in. So look, you have no concerns with me falling asleep. I'm good, okay. But back to Rogue Company. Rogue Company is getting it will be getting a update for Xbox Series X and S. The day of launch, November 10th, and that is coming directly from High Res Studios, which is the parent developer for Rogue Company. Rogue Company is going to be running at 4K at 120 frames per second on the Xbox Series X.
Did you say 120?
Yes, 120 frames.
Are
per
you
second.
coming back?
No.
Oh, what are you running on PC?
I run it at 150 frames on PC. I run it at the maximum frame rate it allows.
Man, I wish that game wasn't cross-play so you can have to buy an Xbox to play with us.
Oh my god! Look, I can still play the game with you regardless.
I know that's why I said I wish it wasn't cross-play.
Well, why do you want me to buy an Xbox?
Because man, I want you to be a part. Because listen, man, let's be for real. I just want you to be a part of the community because the community likes having you around. And when you all PC, it's not the same.
There is an Xbox app where I can join people in party chats and all.
It's not the same though. You know, knowing that you on the same in the same sticks as we are. You know, it's
hey, I got an Xbox 360 controller. Hey, same stuff.
Look, 360 controller ain't an Xbox controller.
Xbox One controller. Better. It's better than the Xbox controller. But let me get started. On the Xbox Series S, it will be running at 1440p at 120 frames per second, which is So and of course, cross save and cross play with Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Switch, and PC. They didn't say anything about PlayStation 5, which I think is interesting. Maybe they won't have the update for PlayStation 5 available at launch, but at least the one for Xbox Series X and S is available at launch.
Dynamic. That's why they just didn't want to say it in the same post.
Dude, don't do that. Don't do that.
It's gonna be dynamic 4K.
And there's nothing wrong with dynamic 4K.
It sure is. Anybody that gets triggered by that, shame on you, because there's nothing wrong.
It's
with
more than likely
4K.
going to be 120 frames per second on PlayStation 5 when they do come out with their update. And if you're a PlayStation gamer, if it's dynamic 4K, who the freak cares? 120 frames per second on a arena, like free-to-play team-based arena multiplayer shooter. Yeah, you care about the frames. You care about the frames. Bro. Look, the Series S is like Taz says, $300 console, 120 frames per second for this game. Like, if you haven't played it yet, it's free. You can just jump in, free. You don't get all the characters right away. You'll get like 5, I think. I don't know what you get for free, but it's a cool game. If you like PvP, check it out, and you can play it 120 frames per second.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's really cool because I think that's where people kind of missed the mark on the power of what the Series X the S is going to be. $300, and you're still getting the blazing fast speed of the SSD when it comes to like getting in and out of your game, so you're not losing features like that. Mm-hmm. But only thing you're losing is just resolution and fidelity. You're still getting all of the other benefits, and I think that's what a lot of people are going to buy that system for. I think Xbox is doing a really good job in trying to convince people that next generation is going to be about the performance. That's all Phil Spencer's been talking about for a while. And hearing these developers targeting 1440p feels so good. And I think this might work for Xbox in their favor, because guess what? If you have to code, like you were saying, now we understand that they have to code for last gen hardware still. But once we get away from that within 2 to 3 years, think about this. The lowest denominator is going to be the Series S. And if that system can target 1440p, I'd rather games be targeted at 1440p anyway, because I feel like 4K is a really good resolution to be at, but give me 1440p with the texture quality blown through the roof. and give me 60 frames per second, because I think that is a better utilization of what the power of these next gen systems are going to be. And then if Xbox wants to go even further with that when the next gen refreshes come out too. So shout out to Slow-Mo, because if you didn't check out his last video that he talked about how Xbox is probably going to have another refresh on their hardware when it comes to the next couple of years. And it's a very good video. So
thank you.
I think that's what I think is going to happen.
Better. I don't think like we saw mid-gen refreshes this current generation. I don't even really consider what I think Xbox is going to do as a mid-gen refresh. I consider it just iterating off of the same
what
platform.
They already have.
Or they already have. They're going to consistently continue to keep dropping new hardware like every 3 to 4 years. I think that is their game plan. I think they may already have some very early plans on what their next gen hardware would be. Nothing concrete as of now, of course, because who knows what AMD is going to have in store for in their hardware and their different architecture in the next 2 or 3 years. But they already got an idea, so maybe some targets that they want to hit, benchmarks they want to hit, like 120 frames per second across the board, that kind of stuff, So I think that is definitely happening. If you look at Phil Spencer's comments, which is what I based my video off of, he pretty much was talking about mentioning how GPUs will, they like NVIDIA and AMD drop a new GPU every year. Right. And then talking about Game Core, how they're developing Game Core so that developers who say are working on a game for like 5 or 6 years don't have to worry about we started working on this game back when you had an Xbox Series S and X, and now you want V and Z. Right. So no, your game's gonna work, regardless of the hardware, based off of the software and the tools that we're providing you. So yeah, I think that's definitely going to happen.
Yeah, shout out to WR Cups Z86. Says shout out to Slow-Mo. Hope that app is going well for you on that PlayStation search. Shout out to Gaming Forte for the GameStop traded info. Yo, man.
Yeah, what's up, man?
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. Yeah, welcome to the show.
Yeah, he hit me up on Twitter, was talking about the Target app there's a way for you to see the allocation of units for PlayStation 5 in your area for like different targets in your area. So yeah, absolutely, man. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, shout out to the homie Racer X Gundam. He said he was late, but hit that like button, peeps. Appreciate it. Gregor Von Doon says, why wouldn't Microsoft just drop upgraded parts since they purposely made the console modular? So my thoughts on that.
Go ahead.
This is something that a lot of people wanted Xbox to do. Now, who knows? This may be the future for Xbox at a later date, just not right now. I just think as of right now, they just want to control. They want to control what's inside that box. Because if they make it modular, then you're talking about having the, they were talking about how Cyberpunk has the code for so many different platforms. Now, can you imagine if they had the code for 9 different variations of a GPU that could be inside of a brand new Xbox Series X? I just think that's something. I think once Xbox decides that consoles isn't the biggest draw for them, then they'll probably make it modular, because at that point they'll say, here's the skeleton for the system, here's the architect of what we're using, this is basically your frame, now go and do what you want to do with it. Once we get to that point, then you'll see Xbox just open it up and say it's basically a PC.
I don't think that's ever going to happen for Xbox.
I don't either.
I don't think. I think a lot of people, and not even just casual gamers, hardcore gamers who don't want anything to do with PC, who just the thought of having to deal with what they think PC gamers have to deal with, whether it's true or not, or whether it's still accurate or not in 2020. They don't care. They're not even going to look at it. They don't want to deal with it. And they will see something like this and be like, see, look, this is why I wanted the console, because all I had to do was buy it and plug it in, and that's it. I don't have to do anything else. I don't need to upgrade my SSD, although you can, and that's probably about as modular as it's really going to get when it comes to consoles. But switching out, well, first of all, you can't even switch out a GPU with these consoles. It's an APU, it's a SoC. APU. So the CPU and GPU are all in one chip. So to switch out your chip, like or to upgrade your RAM, like this is kind of stuff that like someone who hasn't worked in and with tech at all, or it really takes a certain kind of mindset to be open to learning how to do that. And it's really not, I don't think, that difficult. But for people who have never done it before, it's a hurdle they don't want to even attempt to get over. And I think you would have a lot of people immediately check out if you did something like that, especially considering your competition would not do that at all. So you don't want to immediately give a W to your competition by doing something that isn't really something that your community wants. Right. You don't want to force something on them that they don't really care to do. So I don't think that would be a good idea. But it is a good question, though, Gregor.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's the biggest thing that's going to happen going forward. You know, sooner or later, we're going to get to a point where either a lot of people are going to be like, I'm not afraid to own a PC. Because I think once we get to that point, people just will go PC before they buy a system that's modular, because you at least that way you have full control over every little thing you do on it. Right, and you're not waiting for somebody else to give you basically. Think about what Sony's doing with the SSD. The SSD day one for the expandability is not available day one. You don't have to deal with that when you're on PC.
Yeah,
you just buy an SSD.
That I think that's a L for Sony.
I don't understand that at all.
I know, why is that not available at launch? Like, you knew you had the launch. You don't have a ton of memory already. And let's give them a little bit of a break, because it's not like we didn't know this before. This is what happens when you're talking. Is there a date when it will be available? Date. That's the problem. I wouldn't have a problem with it if it was like, yeah, look, it's not going like the proprietary, not proprietary, but the expansion SSD for the PlayStation 5 isn't going to be available at launch. Sorry, but it will be available by January. I would have no problem with that, because one, like, really, do you really need? First of all, we're gonna get into what gamers in their hoarder like mentality with stuff installed in a second. But you just got the console. Right. Like, you don't really need all those games installed immediately. You're not going to be going through that many games in that short period of time. But the fact that you don't have a date at all, that's an issue, and that's something that like people need to be calling Sony out on. That you if you're going to have a special kind of SSD that I can't just straight up right now, you know, and of course they're going to have different vendors than just Seagate that Xbox has, but something different that I have to get, but it's not available. Like, you got to give a little bit more information on why it's not available and when it will be, than just, hey, look, it's not available, but we'll let you know. That's not cool. Now,
I gotta give so if anybody realizes, this is how you just have fun with your community. Gregor throws a slanderous line at me. I put it in lights for everybody can laugh at it for the 20 seconds it's gonna be up there.
For those who don't know, who won't be seeing this live or won't be seeing it on stream, because this will also be re-uploaded to Spotify and Google Podcasts and all those other various platforms. What Mr. Gregor Von Doom has just slanderously said about Forte is that I hope the PS5 has enough storage for the one game Forte beats a year, which is pretty daggone
which is
funny.
Really good.
I mean, honestly, all you really need to have installed is God of War and Destiny, and you're good.
And I'm good.
I really need to say something to all the gamers who are listening right now, and the ones that will be listening later on, and really ask you guys this question: why do you need your entire game library installed on your console? I know the return answer is so that it's available to play when I want to play it. My answer back to you is you're never going to play those games. Okay? Because if you were going to play those games, you would have already done it and you would have already uninstalled those games. Some of y'all out here got Xboxes where Rise, Son of Rome still installed that you ain't played yet. Some of y'all got Xboxes out here with Gears 4 installed, talking about I'm gonna get to it so I can play Gears 5. No, you're not. You're never gonna play the game. If you were going to play the game, you would have done it by now. So just uninstall if you need storage for the games that you actually do want to play. Uninstall the games that you keep scrolling by when you're trying to find something to play. Just uninstall them and then reinstall them back if you ever actually want to play that game. I know people got data caps, but you know what? You're never going to reinstall the game anyway. So it doesn't matter if you're going to use up your data, download it, re-download it, because you're not going to do it. So just install the games that you're going to play. And if you feel like I need space, and well, hey, look at the currently installed games and get rid of something. Either get rid of it or play it, finish it, enjoy it, and then get rid of it. I had to learn this lesson. I'm not just going at you guys. I had to learn this lesson myself when I went to PC. Because I was looking at SSD prices, and I was like, okay, this 1 terabyte, it's on sale for $150. Okay. This 2 terabyte is like $280. I think I'm gonna get this 1 terabyte. Got the 1 terabyte. I'm installing games. I got games sitting up there that I ain't got to yet. And then I'm like, and yes, Racer, it's not slander when it's true, right? I got games I haven't got to yet, and I was a hoarder like you guys on Xbox and PlayStation. I got 2 terabyte. I had 2 terabyte hard drives installed on both of my PlayStation and Xbox to hold all these games. And for what? Because I wasn't going to play them anyway. And I finally, when I came to PC, and I was like, I think I need more storage. And then I thought about it. And I'm staring at No Man's Sky that I installed and then never gave it a second thought again. I said, you know what? Uninstall. Let me just uninstall everything I know in my heart of hearts I'm not going to play. And just keep the stuff that I consistently play all the time and the stuff that I want to get through. And then I uninstall. And that's what I'm doing. And you know what? Here I am, 31 games completed this year. Mm-hmm. And I feel a lot better about it. So like, hey, just try it, actually play your games. I know that's like a foreign concept in this community, but for real, play your games.
Yeah, play your games. That's hard.
Apparently,
that's hard for some people, man. Let's be for real. I understand because I too have a hoarding mentality when it comes to the games, and the thing is, I can admit when I'm wrong because Slumbo's absolutely right. I fought back and forth with thinking about buying that $220 SSD. I'm like, bro, I need this. Money. I need this thing. But then in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, this thing is literally half the price. It's more than half the price. It's 66% of the price of their entry-level next-gen system. I'm like, the thing is, bro, it's not ridiculous because that's the going rate of that type of stuff.
It seems ridiculous just because Microsoft is selling the Series S as such a cheaper price than what it really should be, considering the actual
why you
hardware.
Won't find one because they ain't gonna have those things available until the price of them comes
exactly
down.
Until the price of manufacturing comes down.
You be hard pressed to find one of those things this holiday.
They probably making for every 5 Series X's, they probably making 1 Series.
One Series X. Yeah, exactly.
It's only doing the same thing with the digital version. I mean, although not as they probably have a little bit more higher percentage compared to the Series S and Series X, but they're also limiting the amount of digital PS5s they're making for the same reason.
Shout out to Ryan Landis. What's up, brother? Shout out to you. Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you being here. Gregor says he has 90 games on his PS4, all organized in folders. You know, I can imagine.
Gregor, you have a problem.
I can imagine him having
You're a hoarder.
All in folders too.
You're a hoarder. You're home. You probably.
How big is that hard drive, Gregor?
If you bump into one of the stacks that go to your ceiling in your home, you might actually have it fall on you and be stuck, and you might need a medical assistance or something because you're a hoarder. You got stuff that you don't need, man.
Yeah, the biggest thing that people got to realize is you can still store all of these games on external hard drives, on regular platter disk drives. You can still do that. You can also go out and buy a 1 terabyte SSD for like $75 that's internal that you could just plug into your system just to transfer stuff back and forth. I think that's the way I'm going to go because I'm looking at this like, bro, buying a PlayStation 5, buying an Xbox, then I got Christmas. Then I got my wife's birthday in December. It's like, nah, bro, $220. Look, man, the super chats ain't flowing enough for me to do $200.
But no, that's big facts. Put it on a SATA SSD or something. Like that's what I did. I went out and bought a $50 SATA SSD. I don't even know the name of the company. I can't even remember the name of it. It's not even a brand name. But I bought that.
It's the Micro Center name.
Oh yeah. I got it from Micro Center.
So it's the Micro Center. What is there? It's called. I forget. Inland.
Yes, that's it. It is Inland. I just looked at it.
Say it's definitely the Micro Center.
I walked in Micro Center. I said, "Give me the cheapest SSD. Say the SSD you got." They said the cheapest. I said the cheapest. I mean, like I don't care. It's just as long as it's at least 500 gigs. Cool, we got you. Inland.
Yep,
like $45. I said so. Bought that and bought the little sleeve to put it in and then have it. It's got a USB to
USB adapter to USB 3.0.
Yeah, right. And so
whatever it is.
Yeah, so and honestly, I put all the games that I wanted to beat before going into next gen on my PlayStation, and they all run faster now than they did on that trash hard drive that the PlayStation came with. So it is what it is. But like my plan is to take everything that I'm going to have left, put it on that SATA SSD, trade in my PlayStation 4. When I get the PlayStation 5, I'm just going to plug that in and look like those games, unless they're getting enhancements. I know they're backwards compatible to PlayStation 5, but unless I get enhancements, I see no reason to move that over to my internal PlayStation. And so I'm not going to have an issue at all with storage because I'm not only going to install what I'm going to play. And if I'm going to play something that's backwards compatible and I know it's not going to have a patch to make it like whatever lock frame rate it had much better or stuff like that, what's the purpose? I'll just run it off of the SATA SSD and there you go. Like you don't have to go spend $200+ on these SSDs. Honestly, you don't need to do that. But some of y'all will, and that's cool. You do what you do. Just know you got problems.
Look, shout out to Damien finding a way to say that looking at 90 games on a system is like admiring the collection like it's on the wall.
Damien, you don't need to do that, Damien. Here's why. Because on your Xbox, and you can go to My Games. What's it called again?
You can go to My Games and you can go by sorted by games that you own. And you can
sort
see
by games that you own and see the same exact list in the same exact format without having to install it.
That's how Game Pass is. And you can really trick somebody with Game Pass. You can like go to the Game Pass tab and click like, yo, look at all my games. And all you see is a whole list of Game Pass games. And your friends may not know the difference. You could like win a bet that way. Like, man, I got 300 games on my Xbox.
If you got some weird thing, some weird fetish thing to make you feel good, and just staring at all these games that you got, Lord. Then hey, just go to the uninstall but you own them section of your library and search through the same thing on PlayStation. Go to library, go to purchased, bam, all your games right there. Just go scroll through them up and down the screen and sigh that sigh of contentment that you own all this stuff that you never going to play.
Oh, I feel bad for it. Racer said he said he's never seen a Micro Center. I feel bad.
That's sad.
I feel bad.
That's sad.
That's sacrilegious, right?
It's nerd heaven.
Dude,
that's what Micro Center is. Every time I go in one, I always walk out spending way more than what I intended to spend when I went in there.
Oh man, that place. Yeah, they got. Where are they all at? California, Colorado, Georgia, Illinois, Kansas, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan. Oh, there's 2 in Maryland. There's 2 in Georgia, 1 in Minnesota, 1 in Missouri, 1 in New Jersey. There's 4 in New York. 4. 3 in Ohio.
All of New York, like New York State or New York City?
No, there's 1 in Jersey, so 1 in North Jersey. Okay. There's 1 in Westboro, New York. There's 1 in Yonkers. That's the one I know that Boone always goes to. There's 1 in Flushing, New York, and there's 1 in Brooklyn. And then there's 3 in Ohio, 1 in Pennsylvania.
In the entire state of Ohio, there's 3?
There's 3. Why is there 3 in Ohio?
Only 3 Micro Centers?
There's 3 Micro Centers in Ohio.
Wow. Look,
there's 2, 1 in Pennsylvania.
There's 2 within 30 minutes. Well, not 30, maybe 45 minutes. Because there's 1 not too far away from where my job is.
Is that the ones you're talking about?
Yeah. There's 1 in Rockville / Bethesda. There's
one in
Parksville. There. In Parks, and there's 1 in Virginia. That's not too far away from where I work. And that's the one I always go to because
the one in Fairfax, Virginia. I see it right here.
Yeah, I can just stop by there on my way home. And
then there's 2 in Texas, Houston, and Dallas.
Yeah, look, they need more stores.
They only got 23, man. It's not even enough to cover. Look, they can at least share the love and send them to states that ain't got them instead of having 4 in one state.
I'm telling you, if Micro Center was closer to me, I would never go to Best Buy.
Oh, bro,
I go to Best Buy sometimes to get stuff I want that's tech related. Just because, but Best Buy's like inventory is so much worse than Micro Center. It's like not even close. Like they're CPU fans, like coolers. When I was looking at CPU coolers, I was like, "This is all you have. You have the gutter trash of CPU coolers."
Did you watch Bitwit? Do you follow Bitwit on?
Yes, I do.
Did you watch his video where he went like right before the 3080 and 3090 came out? He went to Best Buy to see what they had, and he was like, "This is it."
I haven't seen that one. I did see a video of his a year ago when he went there to go. He went to Best Buy, said he was going to build a PC based strictly just off of Best Buy stuff that he could purchase. I was just like, man, good luck to you. That PC probably is some doo because they have the worst of everything for some reason. I did pick up a lot of stuff from Best Buy when I built mine, but I did get my motherboard from there. I was surprised they had the level of motherboard that I have, but everything else, the RAM, the case, the case fans, my CPU cooler, all that other stuff I got from Amazon or Micro Center.
Yeah.
So
I hear Fry's is a good one too. I have never been to a Fry's.
I've never seen a Fry's.
I've never seen a Fry's. So that might be your equivalent of what a Micro Center is. It's just to me, when I walk in Micro Center, I feel like I'm walking through an expensive person's or a geek's closet full of shit. Because that's what Micro Center feels.
Language.
Full of stuff, I should say.
Language.
Yeah, I know. Full of stuff. God, make sure you cut that out.
I don't cut that out. So
okay, well, we got one in there. Full of stuff.
I don't know how to beat things, on Anchor. I'm trying to keep it clean out here.
Okay, there's one. It's at that's 1 minute 20. 1 hour 26 minute 30 seconds.
Third or fourth one.
No, it's not.
I'm just going to mark it explicit so the kids can't listen to us.
Lord. Okay, yeah, make sure you do. Make sure you do that. But yeah, man. So I just think hard drive sizes, man, it's kind of crazy. Nobody wants to spend all that extra money. I would just say wait. It is going to be a point where memory will drop in price again. I also said there are going to be other options for you to upgrade, especially on PlayStation side, because we know they're allowing third-party integration to their system. Xbox already came out and said that there will be probably smaller sizes and even bigger sizes. So if you think 1 terabyte being $200 or $220 is a lot, wait till that 2 or 4 terabyte comes out. Whew, that might be the price of the system right there. But I do think.
Did you see this? I know this is kind of like completely.
Did you see the article though? The one that
you probably about to talk about the same thing. Starfield.
Yeah.
Yeah. So all that talk that Starfield was going to maybe it wasn't Starfield. There was talk that maybe this is Fable. I can't remember. All these stupid rumors that pop up with no basis.
That's what happens when you have no games and you just got to keep coming up with rumors.
right. But that Starfield was going to be an MMO, and Todd Howard comes out and has said it's single player only, so there's no multiplayer to be found whatsoever, which is I think good. I don't. Everything doesn't need to be MMO or MMO light or some kind of whatever. I'm fine with it. I'm not fine with the creation engine. I don't care about it's been overhauled. We heard that from you before, Todd. I don't believe that. Until I see creation engine actually looking good and also performing good and not being a buggy hot mess. Why can't you just go Unreal? I mean, Epic builds a very robust and versatile game engine that has been designed from the very start to be licensed out to other developers. So just use that. I mean, there are other the devs that they publish for that they own are using it. Arcane's second studio in Austin is making a new game that should be announced fairly soon, within probably the next year, and it's a brand new IP. Is running on Unreal Engine. Like, come on. Like if it's fine if you want to make your own proprietary stuff. It's fine if you want to have your own engine that runs the way that you want to run it. But it needs to be good. If it's not good, then get something that is already good and just license it. Because honestly, as gamers, we don't care what engine that you run the game in. We just care that it's good and that game-breaking bugs aren't happening or annoying the crap out of us when you fall through the map or you go to your.
That sounds like every Bethesda game ever made.
Yeah, pretty much. Or your save file gets corrupted. Whatever. No one cares about that crap. Like no one wants to deal with it. What you need to overhaul with the creation engine is them ham-faced looking character models you have and how buggy it is. Like if you fix that, great. If not, do us a favor and don't release it like that. But off my soapbox. What do you think about Starfield, man?
Well, the fact that Ty Howard just talks about this, like for what he basically said. What did he say about no multiplayer?
Yeah.
So no multiplayer, and I just at this certain point, it's like I just want this game. What is this game? We got some leaked footage or leaked not gameplay, but leaked screenshots.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that's really got Starfield.
I don't, did you see the picture that somebody put up? It looks like it was Shattered Horizons for PC.
No, I didn't see
somebody took it was like a screenshot that somebody saw of the astronaut hanging upside down in space. And then when they compared it, because he just had different color palette, but then when they went to Shadow Horizon, they took a screenshot of it. It's legitimately the same screenshot, but the guy in Shadow Horizon, here I'm gonna put because I actually own that game on Steam. It's actually a really good game. It was one of the most graphical games at that time. That a lot of people probably didn't know about, but they literally took a screenshot of it and made it seem like it was Starfield. And I was like, oh, that's definitely not Starfield. I played that game. But I just want to know what this game is actually going to be. I mean, it seems like that game is a little bit closer than what some people actually, think. We might actually get that
for a little while.
Yeah, we might actually get that game before we get Elder Scrolls 6. I think that was always going to probably be the possibility because at least on Starfield, we got a cinematic trailer of something happening versus Elder Scrolls was like, here's a horizon. And then we're just going to put Elder Scrolls 6 on the screen. Like what? That could have literally been Fable. It literally could have been Fable, and they just threw it up there. So I'm just super excited to see that. I just want to know exactly what the game is at this point. I'm kind of at a point now where I'm just over. Just
all I've heard
hype.
is like space Elder Scrolls, which
yeah,
I mean, like space, yay, because I like space stuff. Elder Scrolls, nay, I'm not cool with Elder Scrolls like that, especially the combat. So like, I really want something like there's something here, and I'm trying to find.
Yeah, you see the astronaut at the top of the screen. It was that screenshot right there.
Oh, so somebody just took that and said, "Hey, this is stuff."
Literally took that screenshot. Yeah, that's a
damn people, man. Y'all just want attention so bad. Makes me sick. It says something about it having.
You see this right here, slow mo.
Wait.
Well, go ahead and talk.
Oh, your list of games.
That's a list of games right there on Steam, ain't it? Steam.
I be hiding games, man. Like games that I already played. I know I'm never going to play again. I'm like, yo, hide this, because I when I go on my Steam list, I just want to look at what I want to install or do an update to. I'm not. Here we go.
See that? 1,500 hours on PC alone.
Can we get back to the topic? I mean,
no,
you gotta make everything about Destiny. I swear.
I do sometimes.
Todd Howard said that it would be procedurally generated lands. I don't know how I feel about that.
You talk about where the world's changing.
Yeah, it says this part here. It says he specified that the rendering, animation, procedural generation, AI, and pathing, and much more have seen fairly big overhauls. I don't know about. Okay, so when I've been fine with like something being procedurally generated, it's typically have been games that aren't very strong on narrative, right, and that the narrative isn't really something that is important to that kind of gameplay. Now,
wait, hold on. Before you say something, Taz is up here laughing. He's laughing because he saw 1,500 hours in Destiny. Because that's only on PC. Now we understand that this will be the last day, maybe the last day before we stop talking about Destiny for the rest of the show. He's saying that because he probably has over 2,000 or maybe 3,000 or 4,000 hours in Destiny. But Taz, that's just on PC. Just PC. I don't know what Xbox is. Xbox is probably close to 3,000 hours. So you can tell me. Oh, Gregor Vadu said he has 1,800 hours in D. See, look, Slow-Mo, you know what? I'm not going to piss you off. All these Destiny vets up in here. Shout out to Neil S with the $5 super chat. I think Bethesda is dead set on sticking to the creation engine because of the mod community. They need a major game like ES6 or Starfield to fail before change. Dude,
that is 1,000%.
He might be right about that, but we don't want to look. We don't want Elder Scrolls 6 to fail. We don't want Starfield to fail, but let's just hope that they don't have to do that now, since they are owned by Microsoft.
Not owned yet. 1,000% facts, and I've hated it. I've hated that mentality of theirs where we don't want to change because of the mod community. Well, what has happened with your games is that you've had bugs that you haven't fixed, and they show up in your further other games later on down the road, because you just figure, hey, they put out a mod and they fixed it, so why should we fix it in the actual code? I hate that mentality. That's so lazy, and I hate to call developers lazy, but that's a lazy mentality. That the mod community, it's great that the mod community makes mods that are interesting and cool, right? But that shouldn't change the fact that you should be fixing your game, or at least launching your game in a state that's better, that the mod community doesn't have to do bug fixing. Okay, them coming out with interesting and cool ideas, and hey, I want to play as Iron Man in Fallout or something, whatever. That's fine. But there are mods on PC or other games on PC. Some of them kind of weird. Some of them I'm kind of look at people looking like a little sideways, y'all a little suspect. The mods for Resident Evil 2, bruh. Yeah, some of y'all need help. And Resident Evil 3. Some of y'all need some real help and girlfriends. But still, those people are making mods to fix the game. Capcom made a stable game. It doesn't need to be fixed. And for the love of God, can you get Destiny off the daggone screen?
I just wanted to see how long it would take you.
No, can we do the show without you doing Destiny stuff? This is not a Destiny podcast.
It doesn't have to be a Destiny podcast. Just act like you don't see anything.
Destiny podcast. Can you get that off the screen already?
Is it making you? Does it make you nervous?
No, it's annoying.
Okay, slow-mo. I just want to see your reaction. You can't hate this game as much as you say you do. You can't. This got to be a front, bro. This got to be.
Shut up about Destiny for the rest of the show. Okay, we got about at least 22 more minutes. I do not want to hear about this game anymore.
Oh, shout out to Steven Eklund, 5,217 hours played. Shout out to you, bro. Damn right, Gregor. I had 1,266 hours on my Hunter, 1,577 hours total. That's what I'm talking about. Shout out to the master race out there. Look, Hunter master rate grader, Krang eating Titans, and fairy dressing warlocks. Let's go. Let's go.
Are you done derailing the show?
Hey, I'm just reading the chat.
No, are you done derailing the show?
Hey, I'm just reading the chat.
You don't need to read anything in the chat.
Yo, slow-mo.
You choose to do that.
Slow-mo, you know, a lot of people
choose to read the chat.
Slow-mo. A lot of
people. Are you done derailing the show? I
am done, but I'm gonna ask you. I'm trying to give the people.
No, you're not. You're about to derail the show.
There is a lot of people on this podcast that want us to do a Destiny show.
Why? This is not a Destiny show. So
I said there's a lot of. They say they want us to do
Destiny is not a single topic on the show.
We made it a topic.
I think it's not a topic.
Okay, sorry. Go ahead. Ooh. I wish I hate Division as much as you hate Destiny.
No, we can wrap it up now.
No, okay, Slow-mo, stop.
No, we can wrap up the show now.
Slow-mo, we can't. All right, so I'm done. I won't do it no more. I promise.
No, we're good.
I promise.
You just keep derailing the show.
I promise. Slow-mo, I promise to be nice to you.
Definitely do not start singing, okay?
Will you want to make it everything slow-mo, I promise.
Seriously about to just leave, yo. I'm so serious. I'm about to just leave. Like,
okay, Slow-mo. Go ahead, bro. I'm done. I won't do it no more. You got my promise for the next 20 minutes. I can't help you after 20 minutes. When the show ends, I'm gonna go right back to what I was doing.
When the show ends, I'm gone. So you can talk to yourself about this game that you have a drug addiction to. Since you
can I answer that question that Born Distracted asked, or do I have to wait?
A question about what?
Born Distracted asked about a certain game that I can't talk about anymore.
No.
Okay. I'll answer it in the chat. Okay, go ahead, Slow-mo. I want to answer it like voice.
You could have did that a long time ago too, but still.
I'm doing it now.
All right, so Starfield. Back to the actual topic, Starfield. I mean, about the creation engine, about the question, what do you think is the actual, like, do you think that the mod community is the reason why they just refuse to let go of it?
I mean, dude, don't they pay like for the mods? Don't they actually pay those modders, don't they?
No.
Oh, they don't. I thought they did. Oh no, that was Steam. Steam did it, didn't they?
This is what happened. From what I recall, the modders were doing it for free.
Right.
They tried to monetize.
Okay, that's what it was. Okay.
Did, which a lot of people cried foul. Like, wait a minute, these people fixing the game for you, and then now you want to charge people for mods? Like, that's ridiculous. And then there was like, you should be paying them, and if any mod should be paid, all the money to it should go to the actual person that did the work.
It should.
And I think Bethesda at some point fell back for a moment, and then I can't remember because like I don't really play their games like that because I think they kind of suck. But and maybe someone in the chat who's more well versed with Bethesda's Fallouts and the Elder Scrolls can speak to it better. But essentially, I think they either stop going the route of we're going to pay for mods, or we're going to force you to pay for mods, or they went and just made sure that the actual modders got like a strong percentage of the cut for it. Regardless, I think it's nonsense, and you shouldn't even be paying. You shouldn't have to pay for mods. Period. I think mods should always be free.
No,
if someone feels like they want to make a mod, then cool, but just don't expect people to pay for it.
No, I agree with that 100%. I think when it comes to the creation engine, part of me wants to believe that they just didn't have a way to like fund themselves, because we don't really truly know how much ZeniMax, because ZeniMax is the overall parent company, like how much was ZeniMax willing to put back into Bethesda like that, especially over the course of the last few years. If you're listening to like all of the leaked conversations about, they just wanted to like cash out. That's the reason some of these games that got released and got funded, they was like, we just need to get these smaller experiences out there just so we can recoup some money, because they knew they're about to sell. So who knows? This goes all the way back to 2018, where that's the earliest that we know that this was a conversation between them and Microsoft. Who knows? This could have been talked about back in 2017. So it could have been a detriment, because I do know one thing about when one big company is buying another one, a lot of the stuff stays static. Because you don't want to, you have your lawyers go in and appraise everything that's going on to make sure that, the things that the company's saying they have and the assets they say they have are all legit. There's nothing, there's no changing of the guard, no purchasing of other things. Everything basically stops when it comes to the purchasing side of it. So the fact that they probably didn't make another engine is due to that. That could be the reason. Now, a lot of stuff will basically come to light over the course of probably the next 2 or 3 years when Microsoft finally does get the full acquisition of them. Will they find themselves making a new engine at that point? Because if that does happen, then that lets you know that they wanted to get away from the creation engine too, but they just couldn't due to stipulations around being sold. And on top of that, it does help them not have to, bleed money, because they already have this creation engine in place. It does help with the modding community a lot. But let's be for real, Slow-Mo. They can easily create a new engine and still have some remnants of the creation side in it, where they can still have mod support. It's not like Unreal 5 when it releases, is it going to have some type of mod support built into it? It just might not be as easy to implement on the console side like it is with the creation engine and on the PC side, but there will be ways to do it.
Yeah. I think Dark had a really good question in the chat
about right here.
I'm asking for clarification because when he said push for a new one, I think I don't know what he quite means by new one. Does he mean, do you think Unreal Epic and Unreal 5 are pushing other companies to
make new engines
and update? I think if that's his question, I do believe that is the case. If you look at even Frostbite, which I think is terrible. But
Dizzy! Shout out to Dizzy, he's not here.
Yeah, right.
Because I just when you just said that, I just realized Dizzy ain't here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to take this as a breakout on the podcast.
He may have been lurking. I may have brought him out lurking by saying that, but
you might have.
Earlier this year, EA showed. I think it may have been with Dragon Age, or I can't remember what it was, but they were showing something about how they were making improvements to Frostbite, and I think that there is, we've seen all the publishers kind of talk about whatever tools that they're doing to improve the engines that they have. You got Square with the Luminous engine, which is beautiful, and how they're pushing that engine, and how Project Athea is going to really showcase it. We're seeing it with even though they used Unreal for Final Fantasy VII Remake. But it looks like everything else, like Final Fantasy 16, everything else is going to be using Luminous, which is excuse me. Unreal Engine 5 has a lot of nice next generation features that are going to make it, and it makes sense because, as we said before, Unreal is designed has always been designed essentially to make sure that other developers can use it easier than just building their own engine, and it's of high quality. Their games are going to look good and they're going to perform well as long as they are talented developers, basically.
Right.
And I think if you want, as a publisher, if you want to push your developers under you to make sure that you're not having to spend out buku money to Epic to license that engine out, maybe you might want to go ahead and and build an engine that's actually a worthy competitor to what Unreal provides. Even Unity engine, which is free. Unity engine, I saw a video looking at the improvements to that, and it actually looked photorealistic in some parts. Usually Unity is used for a lot of like indie games, and they don't even look that great, but at least they perform well under Unity. And it just seems like, next generation, these games and just really going to be pushing things to the limit.
I agree. Everybody trying to get me to say something that I don't want to say. You reading the chat?
Yeah, I'm like, yeah. And this just let's stay in the chat. Let's move. But Neil did mention, he said Unreal Engine 4.2, I think 4.25 is Black Myth Wukong Black Myth Wukong is done in Unreal Engine 4. Some of the transition for that is with Epic. Unreal Engine 4.25 is like that launch point. So it isn't necessarily you can just go from Unreal Engine 4 to 5, and it's not like it will be a smooth transition. What they're doing is that they're saying it's a easy transition to go from 4 to 4.25, and then the other transition of 4.25 to 5.0. And so that's the upgrade path. I mean, we know a lot of Xbox Game Studios games use Unreal Engine. It seems like the vast majority of them do. But
yeah. Because isn't that what Hellblade 2 is running on?
Hellblade 1 was on Unreal as well.
Was Unreal 4, yeah.
Yeah, but they came out after the Lumen of the whatever that demo was called, the Epic show, the Unreal 5. They came out and said that a good number of the games that are running on Unreal for Xbox will be, when those games come out, they will be on 5. Like Hellblade 2 will, State of Decay 3 will. I feel like there's one more I'm missing that definitely will, but there's another one that is. So I mean, that's good. That's good. Like that, they're definitely going to take advantage of the additional features that I have, and I mean that will help make some of these games really, really look next gen and perform next gen.
Yeah, it just seems like overall, when it comes to Unreal, I agree 100%. I think they are trying to push this narrative forward. I mean, first of all, they got one of the most robust, well-known engines in the industry, and they're not afraid to show off the capabilities of it. I mean, next to the Frostbite engine when it came to Battlefield, and like I said, only in Battlefield, because I don't think that engine should be running anything but that game.
Yeah,
looks really good. I mean, even if you go back and think of like CryEngine, just. It's such a great
CryEngine is. The thing is that what can run it? What can run it? Like, it's just like there's no hardware out there that can run CryEngine.
Like they have literally the most catchiest catchphrase for their engine, where it says "achieved in CryEngine 3." I was like, no, it just sounds so good.
We got a question from Dark. Do we have any update from Fortnite ray tracing on consoles? Not sure. I know Fortnite came out with ray tracing and DLSS for if you have a NVIDIA GPU on PC. That was like back in September, I think. But wait.
Taz said you need to embrace something.
Beyonce. Hey, I'm cool. I'm cool with Beyonce. So I wasn't Fortnite on Sony's last showcase. They do a video. I feel like they did a trailer in Sony's last showcase, and they talked about ray tracing and stuff like that. But I don't think that's going to be available at launch.
Oh my god!
Regardless, middle of next year should be Unreal Engine 5 on Fortnite, because for Epic has always used the games that they make as their like showcase of their engine. It's more of, this is what you can do if you license this out. They did it with Gears. That's what Gears was always about for them. Gears was always a showcase of the Unreal Engine. And now they're doing it with Fortnite. It's because the very first game that's going to be on Unreal Engine 5 is going to be Fortnite, which is also, simultaneously the most popular game in the world. So what else? Like, there's no better game to use as your showpiece for what your engine can do. And go ahead.
I was gonna say, do you think so? Neil brought up a good point. He talked about how Slit Space at 343 should have never abandoned E4, Unreal 4, and they're paying the price for that now.
Yep.
Do you think? First of all, I'm never going to say Microsoft and 343 shouldn't try to have a proprietary own engine for their flagship game. But what is your thoughts on, like, knowing that they did start Slip Space? Well, it was confirmed 3 years ago that they switched to Slip Space.
Right.
What is your thought process on this brand new engine, Halo being the catalyst of it, and where it's going, what it looks like from here?
This was I think a very bad example of how you switch to a new engine. What they should have did was, and of course they wanted this to be a 10-year game, right? So it's difficult to build your game on Unreal and then decide, like, say 2 years in on this ongoing game, okay, we're going to switch to like, because that's a bad transition when you're already live, like you're already live with this game. Then we've seen updates to an engine, like Warframe does that, and their updates, the engine always looks like Warframe looks better and better every time they do an update. We see other games do updates on live games, but it's literally the same foundation of the same engine, which, like, Slipspace is not the foundation foundationally like Unreal at all. If they were going to do that, it kind of tells me that the goal of what Halo Infinite was going to be did not start that way. Like, in pre-production, it did not begin as this is going to be an ongoing game. I don't think it did, because if it was, then they wouldn't have made the decisions that they made mid-development.
Right.
Like, because if you're going to do, like, well, this is going to be an ongoing game, we want this game to be doing consistent expansions and updates for a decade. Then at that point, you decide, let's build our own engine. You do that then 5 years ago. You don't start in the middle of development and you're already like 2.5 years in, and you decide, okay, all right, now we're going to switch engines. Now we're going to switch to making our own engine, because I think somewhere around that time is when they decided this is going to be an ongoing game instead of just another Halo game.
Yeah.
And like, if you're going to do that, like, you're really not giving yourself a lot of time. Games that build their own engines and they develop their games, those games take longer. And you pretty much had to start over when you switched engine. So it's just, this isn't, 343 just, they are so mismanaged. I'm every time, I hate having to speak so negatively about them, but it seems like there's nothing positive to say.
Right.
Like, they just keep messing up, and I think they need new leadership there. Somebody that can right the ship and get them on the right path, because they're making some decisions in management that's just so baffling to me. What do you think?
Man, 343 is not a bad studio. it's just it's a culmination of a bunch of different things happening all at one time. And I liken it to sales in like a store. It's like everything looks good when you're in your optimal and perfect situation. You know, you could work in your studio, you could hire and, you know, tag team in and out a whole bunch of contractors and still get the job done, even knowing you have failed to give us a complete experience on both sides of the game over the last 2 games you gave us. But at least you gave us complete games. That's the one thing I will say. The game shipped. The game we may not have enjoyed certain parts of the game, but the game was functional and the game looked good. But now we get a chance to see what you're really made of when everything is going haywire. You got to manage teams from afar. You got to make sure that because this is where leadership truly comes in at. And this is just another instance of you can't allow you can't even let your oldest child, the one you trust the most, the one that's supposed to be the one that should be able to leave at the house with their younger sister or younger brother to, you know, be able to make sure things get done when you're not there and you're at work. You can't even allow them to even do anything because they basically been living a fraudulent life ever since they became a thing. So the company, I think, is going to be fine. It just needs to be more accountability on all levels at Microsoft and Xbox when it comes to this. Not just the studio, not just the studio heads, everybody. Now, the only difference is we know what Phil Spencer brings to the table. We know he has done monumental things for Xbox when it comes to making it a staple, a corner, a pillar of Microsoft now. We know that's what Phil Spencer brings. We know that Matt Booty just getting into his job and still trying to fill out the way of what it's going to take to get all these studios releasing these games and giving us a viable product going through the next generation. We know what his thing is. What has, up to this point, Chris Lee gone. What did he truly bring to the table when it came to Halo? What is Bonnie Ross?
He's there for a while. Chris Lee was actually
he's been there since Halo 3.
He was there when they formed 343.
Yeah, he was there at the before. So, but that's another thing. It's like,
So was Tim Longo.
Tim Longo was there.
The previous director before Chris Lee took over. It's just, those guys are the long-term guys, and
things just need to change. That's all.
They need new minds and new people with new ideas to push this forward.
Even if you want to say Bonnie Ross is a competent leader in the respects of being able to make sure that project. I mean, what they said. I mean, I really don't want to hold this game like when it comes to like the mismanaging of the time, because no one really truly expected, everything that's happening this year to be happening. And that is something that, can't be ignored, but there's other studios out there that have managed it, and they managed it a lot better. And I think that should be kind of held against you, but I don't think anybody should lose. Like I said, Chris didn't lose his job. He just got moved on to a different project. But he might disappear.
He lost his job. Look, there's a way at 343 where they get rid of people. They don't really seems like they don't outright fire.
They don't fire you. They just move you to another department.
You just get demoted.
They get the Shannon Loftus and give her own studio in a corner somewhere. They actually gave her a pretty decent studio, though. They gave her the Age of Empires team.
Yeah. I mean, I think she kind of, she fell upwards. That's what.
Yeah, she definitely fell. Yeah, she definitely fell. Yeah. And the wind caught her and took her for a ride, basically. So,
but I one thing I will say before we close out, I think my biggest concerns with Halo Infinite is it not being able to really take advantage of the hardware it's working on. Some of the things I saw in that gameplay demo, the lack of draw distance with the no detail, like very far away from where the character is. Like it just seems to get less and less detail in the environment and the characters, like just like 10 feet out. There's that. There's the pop up, the clouds popping up in the distance, and it's just this should be way more capable of this. And the reason why that's happening, and I follow a channel of someone that coincidentally now works for 343. I don't think she's updated her channel in a long time, but she's a game engine engineer, and she used to do. I used to watch her stuff. She used to do tutorials on Unity and using how to use certain engines and really great videos on how engines work and what a game engine really is, like what it consists of. It's the visual assets, the music, the logic, the code, that kind of stuff.
Right.
And something that she always brought up that was I always found fascinating is that you could make the most amazing game in the world, the most beautiful looking game in the world, if you had unlimited time and unlimited memory. And the memory part is the part that's really, really important, is that when you could have like characters that have like millions upon millions of pixels making that character and have it look photorealistic. But how much memory did it take for you to do that? And how much memory do you have left for everything else? That's why like studios like Naughty Dog are extremely talented, because they're able to make really powerful looking and visually aesthetically pleasing games with not a lot to work with the hardware. That memory is limited. Take Last of Us Part 2, for example. They got grass everywhere. The grass looks great, but the grass also hides them from actually having to use up memory with the environment and be able to add more detail to the characters, to the enemies that you're fighting. It's smart. It's really, really smart in how they develop the game. But every now and then you look at like, yo, why is it grass on this bridge? Like this is a bridge. Like, how is it growing grass? It's a bridge.
Right.
There's no ground for this to be over. Like, but I think that's like 5-6 years from now, people will be laughing at that. But at the time, it is what it is. They need to be able to have something to hide the environment in order for them to keep up a certain level of consistency. And the fact that 343 isn't doing those kind of things, or the fact that the environment doesn't look next gen. I mean, in a lot of ways, looks in certain ways and details looks worse than Halo Guardians.
Right.
And it shouldn't look like this. Gameplay wise, great. I mean, I thought the gameplay looked like trademark Halo, which I liked. But yo, why aren't you further along with this engine? And why aren't you optimizing it to the point where you could actually have high level detailed assets in it that aren't taking up all the memory?
Yeah. Dark. Yeah, shout out to you. Halo 4 looked way better. Let's be for real. I mean, Halo 5 even looked better. I mean, I just think at a certain point, people just got to kind of understand that 343 was going after a classic look.
To know the person that I talked about's YouTube channel.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's The Happiest Cat. It's actually, I think that's the name of it. I don't know if I said it correctly. Let me make sure. I'm gonna go find it and then
drop it in the chat for people.
Yeah, she's got a great channel and she's me. Yeah, I'll go ahead talk.
You're good. So, with all that being said, man, definitely we always try to give at least 5 to 10 minutes to people for questions. What questions do you guys have for us in the chat? I'll ask you guys one quick thing. What are you guys excited for? What games are you gonna be playing with your systems on day one when you finally do get them? I mean, we're literally a week away from the PlayStation. We're just under 5 days away from the Xbox releasing. People on PC, I'm sorry, your show happened over a month ago, so you're old news now, unfortunately. But what are you guys looking forward to, and what questions do you guys have? And a couple people saying that's a very good critique. I mean, that's the one thing I will say about Slow-Mo. You know, people don't realize Slow-Mo, he may say some asinine stuff, but he's very thoughtful in his critique about what he's talking about. He's very rarely wrong, and he knows it, and that's what makes him super freaking arrogant on top of it. But,
first of all, the first half of that sentence, I 1,000% agree with.
I knew this was
half of that sentence. I don't know what you mean. I arrogant me? No.
Man. Remember, Slow-Mo, you thought you were the most liked person on Scumcast, and then
I did not say that. I said I know I'm clearly Luca is the most liked person on Scumcast.
No.
Like, and it's her show.
I would be interested to see if she put me on that ballot with her, what would have happened.
Well, I mean, look. This is how you know who people are there for. She puts out a poll on her channel saying who's the nicest person on the panel, and they chose her, the meanest person on the panel. And I'm like, what? Over a hustle? Over meta? Like what? Like, come on. Look, I said I was the nicest, and I'm not. That's true. But, you know, come on.
So Ryan Landis says, thanks, Slow-Mo.
No problem,
Nate says, going to play.
Great. Like, she has videos on telling you like how shaders work in games. She's got a great video explaining combat AI, explaining how engines are designed and what they consist of, how you can do procedural generation. Some of it's pretty old because when she started working at 343, she pretty much stopped uploading videos. But like they're still relevant because they're only 3-4 years old, and it's game design stuff. It ain't changing really. So yeah, go ahead, check the channel out and shout out to her.
Yeah. So Dark says the backlog is freaking big. That's what he gonna be doing. Nate said that Watch Dogs and Gears of War 5 is what he's looking forward to. Taz said he's excited for Tuesday because he'll be playing the word D2. Rex Arthur is gonna be doing Demon Souls plus Godfall. Oh, Taz, I will tell you this. That nerf sucked. 4 seconds off of my cooldowns. I don't like that at all, but I can't cuck as much as I used to, but that's okay. Let's see. Damien loads up. He wants to load up Astrobot and get the feel for the controller, then Miles Morales, then Godfall. Yo, man, yeah, definitely. I'm really looking forward to what a lot of people, especially non-content creators that are on Twitter, just have to say about the controller. Just in general, because for me, the features that the controller have, I mean, even though, and I do agree that they're very much next gen, they're doing a lot of things that you would want in a next gen controller. I'm just not going to get a benefit of them because I don't play with Rumble on. So literally the main feature of that controller is like not even a feature to me. You know, I might turn it on just to see when I get it, just to see. But when I play shooters and I play games like that, all Rumble does is get in your way. And that's
true. I turn it off.
I just turn it off. So, and I think when people, and that's why I try to be really, precise in what I say when I say things that I don't like about Xbox and what I don't like about PlayStation, because they're just you may love it, but when I say it, I'm saying it just because it's a certain thing about it that I just don't. It's not that I don't like it, I just won't use it. So I can tell you it could be the greatest feature in the freaking world, but I have no passion behind it because I'm just never going to use that feature. But I'm looking forward to what people have to say about it. It's maybe when I get older and I stop playing shooters and try to be a god in them, I might turn Rumble back on, and that might be the only case it's going to happen. But I like
Rumble. I like Rumble in other games outside of shooters.
Do you play with Rumble on in Rogue Company?
No.
Okay, good. See, that's what I knew. I knew I liked
First
you.
First thing I did
was turn off Rumble
before I even played the game. First thing I did was turn Rumble.
Yeah, who needs that?
I don't play it with any game that has PvP. I turn it off. If it's a PvE only game, I don't mind it. But like also like for example, like with the DualSense, I'm excited for some of that. I like how like what they're saying with Miles Morales when you're using like you use his abilities that like if it starts from like his right arm or something, and like his Venom Strike. I forgot what it's called. It's not Venom Strike. Whatever that sting thing he does when it goes from his right to his left hand, like you feel it in the controller, like it goes from left to right. I'm keeping it on for stuff like that. You know, like that's where I feel it really has the most benefit. When you play games like Until Dawn and then you see feel like a little bit of vibration when there's a jump scare, or you gotta like stay completely still with the motion control so that like as a part where you might end up dying if you move. Those are the kind of things that I really enjoy with controllers and motion support and rumble and things like that. But shooters, nah.
Man.
All it does is it just it's a distraction.
Makes you look bad in the game.
Yeah, it's just a distraction. I turn it off. I ain't got to worry about it, and I don't feel bad about turning it off because I know everyone else I'm playing against got it turned off too.
Yep, exactly. So dark side, and this was supposed to be a topic. I guess we could touch on it real quick before we get up out of here. 1440p PS5 gate. I know we were talking about this earlier. The fact that you can't play at 1440p on your PlayStation 5 natively. Yeah. How do you feel about that, Slow-Mo?
It's what I expected. Like so right now my PlayStation 4 is in my office where I am right now, and I have it. I use a capture card that connect to my PC so that I can, like, if I decide to ever go live with my PlayStation, that's what I'll do. I have it in here so that when I'm at work, I can, go through playing these games while I'm working, or when things are light with work, because I work from home right now. But when I get my PS5, I planned on putting my PS5 where my 4K TV is in my entertainment center area. That's what I planned on doing. I'm not getting a $500 console to play it at anything less than 4K 60. That's what I want. So I'm not going to. I wasn't going to play it with my 1440p monitor anyway. So for this, it doesn't really mean much to me, regardless. And I know there's some misconceptions where people are thinking that, oh well, but when it's dynamic 4K, what does that mean? It goes all the way down to 1080p? Like, no, your TV will show the resolution when it scales like that. It's just that PlayStation isn't going to natively play games at 1440p.
It's not going to lock at that frame rate.
Right. I mean, that frame rate, the resolution, you mean?
So yeah, at that resolution. So yeah, if you have a game that says it's locking the resolution to 1440p and it can't go up or down, which will never happen on PlayStation since they're making it so your game that you won't be able to display 1440p, then you wouldn't be able to see the game because the game isn't outputting anything else. People are asking about Demon Souls and how is that possible? Well, it's showing at 1440p, but it's upscaling to 4K. So it's variable. So even knowing the game is really running at 1440p, your TV is still going to upscale it to 1440 up to 4K because the game is going to allow it to scale through dynamic resolution. Whereas if the game was locked to 1440p and it didn't have dynamic scaling on the resolution side of it, you would just get a black screen.
Right, and then look at Demon Souls. It looks amazing. So
it looks amazing. That's why I've been telling people I'd rather have if they would have came out and said 1440p was the standard for this generation and 60 frames per second was the standard of this generation, I would be even more excited for the stuff that we're getting because they can still do things like upscale you to 4K. But the thing is, you're going to get better texture quality. You're going to get better draw distance. You're going to get better. Everything's going to look better because I play at 1440p on my PC. I don't feel like I'm missing out on anything. Now, granted, I would get a little bit sharper picture if I played at 4K, but I wouldn't be able to bump my graphical settings up as high as I am because the trade-off between just getting a sharper picture versus having better texture qualities around. I'd rather have the texture quality and the frame rate than anything. So
also, we have to understand that like things are changing in next generation. That like Digital Foundry has spoken about how their method of doing game comparisons and getting into the details, the technical details of how these games are looking and performing is changing with next generation because the tools are changing. It's not just about what the resolution is and what the frame rate is. When you have like features that hardware makers like NVIDIA are making and AMD are making, where like there's DLSS, there is ray tracing, these kind of things that like the implementation of those things forces them to change how they determine how those games are getting things done and how well it's being done, as well as how we should care about how those games are being made. If you think about their Digital Foundry's review of Watch Dogs Legion, they got really in depth in talking about the different levels of ray tracing, the performance mode, the quality mode, the high quality mode, or whatever it was called. Like it was, and I've seen that already. Like I play Shadow of the Tomb Raider on my PC, and Shadow of the Tomb Raider has a high, medium, and low ray tracing mode.
mm-hmm.
And I can actually pause the game at like a cutscene that's looking at Lara and go into the settings, and in the background of the settings, see it in real time, change the shadows on her face and change the other aspects of how ray tracing is being implemented in that game. I think it's really only the shadows and Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Ray tracing can be implemented in many, many different ways. Just indirect lighting, not just shadows, not just reflections, but in various different ways. But how it's implemented, I think only in Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Modern Warfare, they only did shadows, whereas with Control, it was literally, well, not everything, but it was implemented far more extensively than those in those other games. But that said, like all that stuff makes it where resolution really isn't all that important, especially DLSS. Like DLSS, for those who don't understand what that is, like DLSS takes a 1080p image, a 1080p resolution, and you target 4K, for example, or 1440p. Let's say we're talking 4K. DLSS is machine learning, is AI machine learning that NVIDIA has developed, and what it does is it predictively fills in the pixels that are missing that 1080p image up to whatever resolution you want to bring it up to. And the first version of it was absolute garbage. It looked like a blurry mess. and all that capping that they did about how it just works and all yeah when they came out with the RTX GPUs, people were just like, yeah, it doesn't work, so you need to fix that. Now, right. The great thing with machine learning and the great thing with software is that you can fix it with an update, a firmware update. You can make it better. Now, not everything, because there's hardware ray tracing. So like the Ampere line, the 3000 series has better ray tracing than the 2000 series, of course. But then when you have stuff like DLSS, that's AI and machine learning, you can improve it without actually having people have to buy new hardware. And so Control has DLSS 2.0. which is amazing. And we've seen things with like demos with DLSS 2.0, where you can look at an image with that's DLSS enabled versus native 4K, and the DLSS version looks better. We've seen it with like Death Stranding. So it's, that is what's important going on into the future, where caring about resolution really isn't that important. And it's going to become less and less important as these console gamers start to play games at 60 frames per second and 120 frames per second, and seeing what they've been missing for this entire generation, as well as with a high visual fidelity, and not even caring the fact that it's dynamic 4K. So what? It looks good.
No, I agree 100%. And that's all that really needs to be said around that. Look, man, great freaking show. Great chat. Chat has always been amazing. I truly appreciate everybody that always comes through the show to show their love and support. Guys are truly amazing. But yeah, man, we're gonna get up out of here because it's late and it's 11:30 and Slow-Mo needs to get ready for bed because I think I'm actually older than you, ain't I, Slow-Mo?
I'm 39.
Okay.
How old are you?
We'll just leave it at that.
How old are you?
We'll just leave it at that.
You're older than me then. That's what that answer is.
We'll just leave it at that. No, I'm 38.
No, you're not. You literally just said, let me just choose a year.
You just asked me to say how you just asked me to say how old I am. I say I'm 38. You say no, you're not.
You're not 38. You lied. You're 40.
Ooh,
you're 40 something. I'm gonna ask your daughter.
What?
She gonna tell me. She gonna tell me.
She probably will. If she was in here, she would blab it out right now. Government name, social security number. She do all. Get my password on my phone away.
He's
she just
43 years old. His birthday's in March.
40.
See? That's all you have to say, man.
Hey, Jay-Z said 40 to do 30. You almost there.
Yeah, that ain't true, but still, I mean, it's a good still.
I feel old as hell.
Yeah,
you're right.
exactly.
Old as hell. But no, man. Look, man, great show. Let everybody know where they can find you at certain Racer. I am not 42. God, not yet, at least.
42.
42.
Yeah. You 42.
Not 42.
Yeah. Look, you guys can find me on my YouTube channel. Let me go grab my channel.
Links in the description of this video, too. I actually have it right here. I'll drop it in the chat.
Oh, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah. I haven't uploaded the next video. I haven't done a video in 3 days, which is bad. I have intended to drop a video about Anthem and some of the updates that look pretty promising for the game, and my honest opinion on whether it really matters or not. If you watched my previous video about Anthem, you probably already know where I'm going with that, but I'm going to be as honest as I can possibly be. But check that out. Check out some other stuff I got coming down the pipeline. And look, I just appreciate you guys rocking out with us. I don't know how many people we had in here at the highest peak, but
46.
46. 46 of y'all are awesome people. And what I really love to see is the same names every week, because that tells me that you guys like what we do and y'all come back again. So that means we're doing something right. So appreciate you guys.
Just make sure you keep sharing it out so we can get more victims in here, so we can have fun, so we can treat them like we treat people in the Scumcast.
No,
we don't want to. We don't want to do that. We don't want to do that. We scare people away if that was the case.
Right.
But no, man, Slow-Mo, you do amazing work on your channel, man. Like I said, I talk up your last few videos. I always talk up your videos, but your last ones they were really a work of art, with the care you actually put into the research to talk about the things that you talk about. I think it's some of your best videos, and I don't say this lightly. I definitely want you to get more subs, not just because I want you to play Bugsnax. I just feel like you deserve.
You want me to do Bugsnax?
No,
I appreciate that.
I want you to play Bugsnax. I just, but I want you to also.
I just want my videos to be as expertly video edited as yours are. I just look at you. I'm just like, how he do that now?
My videos are trash.
Stop it! No.
They're trash.
Stop it!
Everybody in this chat will tell you they are.
No, literally 0 people in the chat would say that.
They're all right.
You guys have a great night. We appreciate y'all. See y'all next week on my channel, same time, Thursday night, 9 p.m. Easterns. We're going to have the awesome Lord Cognito from the Iron Lords podcast on. I have confirmed. I have locked him. He famous now since he's been on IGN Unlocked, and he out here hobnobbing with like all the great devs on that. I see him on pictures on Twitter. Him all drinking wine with his pinky finger all out with all these developers, and I'm just like, man, I mean, this guy's like a mini celebrity. I hope he don't forget us. So apparently he has. He's going to join us the same day that that PlayStation 5 is launching, and hopefully I'll be able to talk about my PlayStation 5.
Yeah, all we ask is you guys. We know there's a lot of PlayStation fans out there on our channel that's watching right now. You can put us on in the background while you're playing your PlayStation. We want to hear from you too. Tell us what that controller is like when you finally get it. But it's going to be a fun time next week. For myself, you already know about the channel because you're already here, Gaming Forte. Hit me up on Twitter. Follow me there. We have a really good time over there. And then content-wise, a lot of stuff coming out. I was going to drop 2 videos today, but I didn't think I should do it with a podcast coming up today. So I have a Xbox video and a Destiny video going live tomorrow. So shout out to all you guys too, because I know a lot of you guys have supported the Destiny video too. I truly didn't think it would do as good as it did because I really don't do Destiny content on my channel as much as I used to. So I really truly appreciate the love and support you guys did show on that video. I mean, it's close to 700 views now, and I never thought that would be a thing. So we're going to keep doing that. We're going to try to upload one Destiny video alongside an Xbox video just so we kind of just keep everybody happy, not just segregating the community, because I want us all to grow together. But look forward to that tomorrow. Going to be talking about some stuff that was in the TWAB for you guys. And yeah, man, it's going to be a great time on Slow-Mo's channel next week. But also make sure you check us out on Basement Radio Arcade Podcast Wednesday nights at 9 p.m. Scumcast going to be this Saturday, I think at 3 p.m. because Luca might not be getting their hair done. And and hopefully we have a president at some point tomorrow,
don't
hopefully a different president, but
that
hopefully.
And I really don't expect this to be resolved by that.
Tomorrow. I don't either. I think it's gonna be Tuesday. Look, as long as we ain't having another podcast tomorrow next week and we still talking about this. That's all I care about, because I do think this is gonna go through the weekend.
Yeah, isn't one state like their period ends for accepting ballots
November 10th.
November 10th or the 12th or something like that?
It's the 10th.
I can't take this no more.
I think it's Nevada. They can do all the way up to the 10th.
Well, they're counting. They're counting so slow. It's going to be at someone's inauguration before they finally.
Oh my god! Like they went a whole 24 hours and the number never moved. We're not gonna talk about this, man. Would this be a whole nother rant? We could literally do a show just due to all this stuff. And your boy out here saying stop the count in country in states that he's winning in, but no, keep counting there because we losing. Oh my god. Okay, but for real though. Really appreciate you guys. No matter where you went with your votes or stuff, we all love you here. I could care less. All I care about is people being decent to each other. And as long as you're decent to each other, I could care whatever flag you fly. So I really, truly appreciate all the support you guys give the channel, and make sure you do the same thing for my boy Slow-Mo so we can get that Bugsnax stream. But you guys have a good week, and we will see you in the next episode, which will be episode 10. I ain't forget, Slow-Mo, of the DPS podcast. Talk to you guys later.
Peace.